It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Oh, this is beautiful. Back at it in our own comfortable spot here near the bunker range.
Yep.
We are at basically what I call the corner of High and Broad right here.
Yeah.
This is the intersection, and we're back. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, TLC back in studio, a cast of hundreds here, helping us stay on the air and be on the air and talk to you guys all day long for the next 3 hours. Matty, I will tell you something interesting. Yesterday, when we were at the halfway house, and we were being fed by Chef John.
The man.
It's unbelievable.
The man.
It really is.
We love you, Chef John.
So after the day, I go and say thank you and goodbye to John. And he said, hey, come on by next few days. We'll take care of you.
Smash
and I
burgers
said,
on
I'll see you. I know the side entrance. I'm good to go. And I'm walking out, and one of our security friends looks at me and says, hey, AR, it's over.
What?
It's over.
One and done?
That's right.
No way.
He said, caddies and players only.
Come on.
Starting Thursday.
Are you serious?
So that's it.
No,
so
maybe Chef John can sneak one
I
out
said
of the
I
back
can
for
dream big,
Yeah,
right?
no doubt.
Yeah, so that dream died really fast after that. I thought I had a special backstage pass, and it was revoked immediately. But we're here. We're glad to be here. We'll try to wrangle in whatever we can. You know, watching Ryan Day and Nick Saban yesterday, I saw something pretty interesting. As a golfer, I've noticed this before. So when Ryan Day was teeing off, Ryan Day was the kind of golfer, now if he didn't hit it perfect, he would kind of hold the finish and wait to see where it was going to be.
Okay.
And he's standing in a spot. Nick Saban is that guy who's teeing off next, who like just climbs up on the other guy basically, like
Get off the tee box.
Yes,
Move.
he's that guy. And Ryan's still holding his shot. And Saban's the guy
Trying to get
who's
to it.
got ball in hand, tee in hand, and what happens is the guy who's watching his shot then has to bend down and pick up his tee, and Ryan almost steps on Saban because he's glomming all over him, move off the tee
amazing.
box.
It's
It was
amazing.
classic, and I want to give Saban a little credit, though, as I backhand slap him there. The guy's 73, and he hiked up and down these hills for 18 holes.
What's this thing, 7 miles? Six and
it
some
probably
change,
feels
something
like
that?
70 miles, you know, with your, swinging and playing in this rough.
No doubt.
And the thatch. But I would say that's pretty impressive. For
Yeah.
a 73-year-old guy to take that on, I know he's not carrying his clubs, but I'm just talking about walking and swinging. I actually give him all the credit in the world for wanting to do it. He's played a lot of golf in his life, and watching him hit the ball, gets through it pretty damn well for a 73-year-old.
You know where I'm at, right? Guys outside of the tour, like when you come out here, the Anthony Rothmans of the world, the Nick Sabans of the world, the Ryan, get these guys some carts, please. What are we doing? Take care of you guys, okay? Especially you. You are the reigning and defending media champ here at Jack's Place. You deserve all the amenities and more. Chef John, a cart, all of it needs to come your way. You already have all the access you need, though. You're going into the locker room. You're going to all these other places. I can't go. You left me behind already this morning. I said, AR, can I come in? No, you can't come in here. Shut the door. I got to go talk to Scotty Scheffler. Sorry, man. That's what happened this morning. So you crushed kids' dreams yesterday, and you're crushing my dreams
First
today.
of all, unintentional on the dream crushing, that's for sure. And I'll tell you, I'm all for the kids. But I'll tell you what, if you're going to stay on your spot and hope he comes right to you, you got to call an audible at that point.
Be better.
You got to read and react. Why can't you backpedal a little bit? These kids have a lot more energy than I do, and I'm hiking up that hill.
Oh,
I thought
man.
I'd get more applause than shattering dreams, but I did. Yes, one kid, Sharpie in hand, hat in the other.
You just swatted that
No,
Sharpie
I
out of
didn't,
his
but
hand.
I saw the look of disappointment on his face. Well, the last I checked, Peyton was playing all 18. I only had him for about 30 yards, so
that's real.
You got to chase him down.
A little tough love from Uncle Anthony.
Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
You know what? It's a beautiful day out here today. It really is. Yesterday it was chilly. You know, you had a little raindrops falling from the sky here and there. Right now, we're looking at sun, partly cloudy. Got a little humidity going on. I'm regretting wearing pants. I thought, do I go shorts?
And
do I
long
go
sleeve.
pants? I've got a quarter zip and pants on today. But here's how my life works. If I would have wore shorts, it would have been rainy and chilly all over the place. But I will take this L. I am in a weird spot, though, because I'm not going to lie. We came up to the set, and Uncle Bo and Reeser were standing up. They did the whole stand-up for 3 hours. So now I feel like I'm obligated to stand up for 3 hours and be like Eric Reeser, who's an absolute machine, because if I don't stand up, I don't feel like I'm going to be in a part of the squad. So I think I'm going to have to do this for 3 hours today.
Will you also wear the white sunglasses?
Yeah, he's got a look going on right now. The hair is immaculate today, Reeser. How much time did that take? You're challenging Adam King for hair of the day. Okay, that's easy? Okay. Yeah, he looks good, man. He looks ready to go.
He's got on like a heavy quarter zip, too,
Yeah,
for
I don't
the
know
fan.
how you're doing it.
Like, that's got to be
Double
a little
layer.
steamy.
Yeah, he's repping the squad right there. But I think I'm going to go full 3 hours today and stand up. But, yeah, this is a beautiful scene today. Hey, we couldn't ask for much more than this.
All right, of course, your guy Victor Hovland's 2 off the lead right now at 3 under. I will say, if you're coming out this afternoon, you're going to get Justin Thomas and Patrick Cantlay at 120. You'll get Scotty Scheffler at 130. So those are the big boys here in the afternoon. Of course, this is a smaller field, a signature field, 72 guys in this thing, top 50-plus ties or within 10 shots of the lead at the end of Friday will make the cut and be around for the weekend. And I haven't looked this up, but I'm pretty sure that the last place finisher, the guy that makes the cut that finishes last, will probably earn more for finishing last than Jack Nicklaus winning his first major at the U.S. Open in 1962, beating Arnold Palmer in a playoff. I'm pretty sure that's the case, because I'm pretty sure Jack Nicklaus in 1962, when he won the U.S. Open at Oakmont, amongst the church pews, beating Arnie's Army in a playoff, took home a whopping $15,000.
Whew.
Yeah, that's what that's
We've
like.
come a long way. You showed me yesterday what we were talking about, Max Homa. He's never won this thing, right? Never won at Jack's Place, but he's almost won $1 million in earnings just coming here. It was one of my favorite parts of watching Full Swing on Netflix is when they showed the money that these guys can make even when you make the cut, you finish top 30, top 20, top 10. There's a lot of coin out here in the golf world. I'm regretting not taking golf more seriously and trying to get on this tour, even though I know in my wildest dreams that never would have.
Let me give you maybe even a better example than Max Homa.
Yeah.
So Ricky Fowler, who when Ricky came here in 2010 for his first year was an absolute rock star. Creamsicle outfit, full orange, Oak State Cowboys, the whole deal. He was as popular as when Sergio first came here, not as popular as when Tiger first came here. But Ricky, who has finished second out here twice and has numerous top tens, a lot of missed cuts, but he's finished second twice.
Let me guess.
Well, I'll tell you how many years.
Okay.
So he missed the cut. He's missed the cut here. He went on a bad run where he missed 3 in a row from 14 through 16, and then he missed it in COVID, and then he missed it in 24. But he's got 2 seconds, an eighth, and a ninth.
2 seconds and eighth.
So he's played here from 2010 through 2024.
I'm going to guess that Ricky has brought home roughly $4 million.
Little high. On the Price is Right, you would be dinged, which, by the way, worst rule in the history of rules is that if a guy's $1 over, he loses to somebody that's thousands less. It doesn't even make any sense. If your show's called The Price is Right, shouldn't it be who's ever closest?
I can roll with you.
Why would they ever do that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I would love to
just
find out.
Clear,
be in those meetings with Bob Barker. Remember, spay and neuter all your pets.
Can you help me out with something? When they throw the executive producer thing up there at the end of the show and it says Adam Sandler, it's not the Adam Sandler, right? Or is it Adam Sandler?
Of what?
For The Price is Right. Have you not seen this?
No.
So when they roll the credits and they roll through all the names, there's an executive producer and it says Adam Sandler. And I'm like, is he that guy? I need somebody to help me with that.
Does he have some sort of weird credit like beneficiary now because he was with Bob in Happy Gilmore and they just threw him in the credits kind of like a...
I really don't know, but I swear
have something going.
There's a producer for The Price is Right and his name is Adam Sandler.
Here's the one thing I don't know, and the one question you haven't asked me, which would be the tough question right now at the press conference. What's Bob Barker up to?
Yeah, that's that.
Am I wrong?
I think we got to pour one out, don't we?
I think he's on the other side. I think I'll see him on the other side.
Is Bob out of here?
It's possible.
Okay, Bob.
I just want to be accurate.
We miss you, Bob. We'll pour one out for you.
The absolute greatest when it came to the first guy that would really animal advocate on the air.
What's the official number for Slick Rick
All right.
here?
2.711 mil.
That'll work.
Having not won the tournament.
Yeah.
So that's always nice.
Oh,
Let me tell you something about our leader real fast. I'll give this out because I want you to be a big hit with your friends.
Who we got?
So Ben Griffin is absolutely on fire. He's -5 through 10 holes.
Yeah, he's cooking.
He's leading the tournament. This is a guy who won in New Orleans. A month later wins Colonial, tied for 8th at the PGA. He was coming on. And Ben Griffin's, let me remember this correctly. Ben Griffin's great-grandfather played for the New York Yankees back in the 20s.
With Babe Ruth?
With Babe. Now, hang on. The story gets better. This is a rumor. And listen, if I can get Ben Griffin on today, it would be unreal, especially if he's leading.
You got pull around here.
There's three reasons why guys would come on the show. We're not two of them.
Yeah.
But let me give you the three. One, they finish their round in a certain window of time that we're still on the air. That's number one. Number two, they don't want to, after they sign their card, they don't want to go eat or practice. That's number two.
Okay.
And the third one is the most important reason of all. They will had to have played well to want to come on.
No doubt.
So that really shortens the pool of guys. So Ben Griffin, you're now a contestant, or at least a possibility. So Ben Griffin, his great-grandfather, played with Babe Ruth. The rumor goes that Babe Ruth lined a baseball into his great-grandfather's chest. And they found out later on that he got an infection in his lung. They didn't know. He kept playing and this and that. Then he developed, like, tuberculosis, like, unbelievable. And so, like a Doc Holliday thing. And subsequently had to then retire from baseball.
Because of Babe Ruth.
But played in the 20s and the 30s with the Red Sox. It doesn't even make any sense. And I'm wondering if Ben has memorabilia or some kind of deal. I hope I'm getting this right. It'd be amazing if I got the wrong guy.
You brought up Babe Ruth, and that was a great story. My mind went to Baby Ruth, the candy bar. Did those ever do anything for you? Those are kind of misses for me, the Baby Ruths.
No, you just don't wrap them and throw them in a public pool and then see if things go awry. That's really what those were good for.
Oh, yeah. No, I was not a Baby Ruth
No
guy.
big deal. It's no big deal. All right, so we're just getting started here. So we'll keep you up to date on the leaderboard. I can assure you of that. Maddie's picked Victor Hovland is -3 through 8. My guy took a bit of a tumble. I saw Oberg was 2 under early on in his round, and now he's 1 over. So that's not good. But we'll keep watching him. The sweet, hopefully, will turn it on here. We'll come back. You heard Ryan Baker say in the update that we have some kickoff times for Ohio State football. I think we have the first 3, and they're locked in stone. We'll give them to you next. Rothman and Ice, live from the Memorial on the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We've discovered the perfect morning ritual, the 2 for $6 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. Every sandwich is made to order with a freshly cracked egg and melty cheese, just the way breakfast should be. Choose between savory sausage or hickory smoked bacon, served on a toasted English muffin or flaky biscuit. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches, just $6. Perfect. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, single item at regular menu price. Modifications and tax extra. Exclusions and additional terms apply.
Common Man here. I want to talk to you about my buddy Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. It's rare that a business comes along and offers you such great quality, service, price. If you or someone you love or like, or even strangers on the street tell you they need a jeweler, tell them you got a guy, and that guy is Bob Capace at Worthington Jewelers.
I'm Bob Capace, and I'm your guy.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Dealin' Days are back at Lindsay Honda. Lock in your deal in May. Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas. Simply pick your new 2025 Honda and enjoy 0% for up to 60 months. Yes, 0% for up to 60 months on all new 2025 Hondas, including HR-V, Pilot, and Ridgeline.
Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Lindsay's got it, and you're gonna save.
See you, Lindsay Honda, during Dealin' Days.
See lindsayhonda.com for details.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy. America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunshine for the afternoon. High temperatures back into the mid-70s. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies with temperatures cooling down into the upper 50s. The clouds are ahead of our next chance of rain here as we go through the day on Friday. The rainfall could be heavy at times, especially as we look ahead to the morning hours of your Friday. High temperatures only into the 60s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie's looking all over Muirfield for a steamed broccoli and almond vendor. No luck. You're listening to Rothman and Ice live from the Memorial.
Presented by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. And sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
All right, back at it, live at Memorial. Leaderboard, kind of crowded. Guys getting off to a decent start. Ben Griffin gave one back at 11, so I'm presuming he bogeyed the par 5, which isn't great, but he's still in the lead at -4, followed by Akshay Bhatia. Maddie's picked Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa Bell, as I've nicknamed him, and those guys are right there. Shane Lowry's 2 under.
Okay.
Ricky is now 1 under through 17, so he's got 1 left, and we'll continue to watch that leaderboard for you.
Tony Finau, another big name, are hanging around 1 under through 16 right now, too.
Yes, I'm wondering how much money Finau has taken out of here. Yeah, 1.4. I knew he had a decent amount of money in his time here because he's got like 3 top 10s. 2 things. One, this is the first I've noticed the sunglasses you're wearing. which are incredibly stylish and very elite.
I appreciate it.
And it's, I didn't notice it earlier, but now I'm noticing.
It's a rare thing that you ever see me outside of glasses. Every day you see me, I have glasses on. The contacts are like a handful of days a year type of thing. I feel like it's always appropriate to come out here and get the sunglasses on, man. So, I had to throw them on, man. Had to do it to him. We just had Devere Posey stop by with his two sons. Speaking of sunglasses and style, they looked amazing as a family. Depot's a big golfer, too, so he was going to be out here. We'll have to throw him on at some point, but I appreciate the love, man. You got some nice Oakleys, too, though.
Those are old. I have. They're kind of right. It's kind of my deal, but that's old school. But I'm curious, is this like a day's pay for those things? 3 days? I mean, where are we on these sunglasses? Okay, I just want to see what we have on those. Number 2, and I got some decent compliments on the walk and talks yesterday. But one guy said to me, and now I realize it, he said, "Why did Steph have to lie to you like that?"
About Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, he
That's
lied.
What I'm saying.
He lied.
Thank you.
Like, why just plain lie like that? And I failed because I didn't say back to him, because he was kind of walking away. I didn't want to say this is walking away. But if you guys missed it yesterday, I asked him if he had to give up a game-winning shot, which, by the way, you'd never want to take the ball out of his hands if you need a game-winning shot. So that's why I did it. It was the great hypothetical. Mm-hmm. And I said, you got anybody in history you can pass the ball to who's getting that game-winning shot? And you and I went through a million names yesterday, whether it was, for me, Jordan, you, LeBron, Larry Bird, Ray Allen, Robert Horry.
Head coach, Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr's the right answer, and that would have been, but he just plain lied to me. He looked me right in the – well, he didn't really look me in the face when he said it, so I'll give him that. But he lied, didn't he, Matty?
No, there's no doubt about it. When I heard it live, I said, wait a minute. Steph, what are you trying to do to us right here? You're trying to fool us with some trickery, and I'm not buying anything that you're saying. I think we figured out what is going on is that, look, he knows Jimmy will be back in the fold next year. Want to shower him with love, tell him how important he is. He, Draymond, and Jimmy can maybe make some noise in the Western Conference. But it was awesome, man. You did a heck of a job catching up with the likes of Larry Fitzgerald and Peyton Manning and Steph Curry. If you guys missed any of those hits on our show, if you ever miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, just type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Our podcast is sponsored by the great folks over at Bet365. And as I say that, the man, the myth, the legend is driving by on the cart with his lovely wife, Barbara Nicholas. Jack Nicholas driving by our set as we speak. And leaning. He's leaning back in the cart.
That he doesn't want to be driven.
Yeah.
That he wants to drive.
This is my house.
I'm in control.
Yeah.
This is the house that I built.
You know what the kids say? Aura's a big thing. Like, that is just what drove past us right now. It's just a whole batch of aura.
It was an entourage, too, behind him.
Now, the man that
he was in the lead car.
He was.
Yeah.
He was. As they say, the face that runs the place, Jack Nicholas, just drove by. The 97 won the
All right, so Jimmy Butler lied to me. Jimmy Butler. Steph Curry lied to me about Jimmy Butler yesterday.
Yep.
And then Matty Ice lied to us yesterday when he told us that SAG was going to score, or SGA was going to score 35 points, and he scored 34.
Come on.
So I don't know why you want to lie and make us bet on something and then be a point short. And as my brother always told me in gambling, there's a right side and there's a wrong side.
I was on the wrong side.
34.
Broke my heart.
The problem is it was just a blowout.
It really was. They cooked them on to the finals. Really cool story. You mentioned Steph. SGA is looking to become the first MVP since Steph to win the MVP in finals in the same year. So we talked about them all last year, AR. That team is on the rise. They've been on the rise. They got a young core. They got an amazing outlook with this core and a whole bunch of picks. So the Thunder, looks like we're getting Thunder Pacers. Pacers got a chance to close out the Knicks tonight. But, yeah, that team is awesome, and SGA was cooking last night.
No doubt. All right, so we'll get to the kickoffs here.
Yep.
Because it's what you've all been waiting for. And I would say that there's no shot. We thought, I told Peyton Manning the Texas-Ohio State game was at noon. What if I was wrong?
And I think he told you a white lie. I think he hinted at a little bit of a white lie that he's on the fence about going to Tennessee and Syracuse.
Got to go see when the Vols are kicking off at Syracuse in Atlanta on a neutral site game.
It's
not even in Knoxville. All right. So anyway, the Texas game is officially at noon. I thought it was kind of locked anyway. Once Fox had it, it was locked at noon. Then Grambling State is
3:30 on Big Ten Network.
Big Ten Network.
Yep.
And then the game against the Bobcats, 7 o'clock on Peacock.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you had to have a night game, yeah, right. I would honestly move. This is what I would do if I was running the show, but I don't. So Grambling would go to noon. OU would go to 3:30, and Texas would go to 7 o'clock.
I'm all in.
And then we would have something.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And this has been, the root of a lot of Buckeye fans' frustration is what you just laid out and looking at these games and the opponents and the kickoff times. We've said it. Look, the atmosphere at the shoe is going to be awesome. I think when Buckeye fans wake up that day all week long, the juice around that game with Arch and Sark coming into town, it's going to be through the roof. However, you want that thing to marinate in the crock pot a little bit, right? You want to have a few extra adult pops, maybe even squeeze in a nap prior to that game so you make it through the entire game. But I'm here to tell everybody, and I think we all know this, I don't even think this is going to be the second or the last big opponent coming into the shoe with a noon game attached to it.
Well, Michigan's officially noon. That's done.
My gut is telling me, AR, that the Penn State game will be noon as well. That's just my guess. I have no intel at the moment, but if it goes Fox's way, which a lot of these games seem to be going their way, then Penn State will be another big one, and that could be obviously a top 5 matchup with how good Penn State is supposed to be with Drew Aller and the gang coming back.
Minnesota's homecoming on October 4th.
Okay.
In case you wanted to know that. And
that's
of course,
always a bad thing, too,
noon.
right? Like when you're the homecoming opponent, that's usually when like a team identifies kind of like that's a dub for us. At least that's kind of what it felt like when I was in high school. Like P.J. Fleck, the rowing of the boat, they haven't been moving a lot of water around up there recently. So homecoming, I don't know how that works.
He made a little of the water move with Max Brosmer up there.
You were in on Max
Beat.
Brosmer last
And guess who
year.
he plays for now?
Ooh.
He signed a free agent deal.
Signed a free agent deal.
He
in
was
the
not
NFL.
drafted. They called him right away.
Max Brosmer is, can I get a conference?
NFC.
Guys, don't mess this up.
NFC North. The Vikings.
That's right.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, TLC.
Gophers to Vikes.
Phone to friend.
That's right.
Or the friend phone.
All right, so the kick times are noon for Texas, Grambling 3:30, OU 7 o'clock on Peacock, Michigan's at noon. The people, the tradition, the excellence, the paycheck.
There you go.
It's that's what it is. They run it. They have listen. If they're going to be stroking the check for all this, you play when they tell you. I don't love it.
No,
fans
I
don't love it.
I don't either.
But guess what? And the other thing you said, about getting all lubed up for the game, I get that. The one thing that I is just not having to get up so damn early.
What about the nap part? I threw that in there too. I'm big on naps.
I think once you're going, you're going.
Well, depends on how hard you go too, because sometimes you take a nap.
I'm pacing
you don't even
myself,
want to
Sergeant.
take a nap. You know.
All right,
You know
we're
what
going
I
to take a break. We'll give you an update on a leaderboard, and we'll bring in, unless we want to bump him from the flight, Adam King of 10 TV.
No.
It's tough to bump him when he's already here.
Yeah, why is he
and he's
rubbing your
stealing our
shoulders like
gear,
that?
and he's giving me a massage. I love it. All right, Adam King in 2 minutes. We'll find out whether he's guarding the media buffet or if he's doing something useful today. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
We can come the day you call us.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Brian, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Okay, ask away.
Sometimes when we're talking, I hear a little sparkling sound.
Is it when one of us says, all you have to do is point?
There it is. Did you hear that?
That's the sound of magic happening.
Magic? Like we can come the day you call us? Wow.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary. 97.1 The Fan. Memorial Leaderboard Update.
And it's brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union with rates as low as 5.54% and a $400 cash bonus when you refinance your auto loan with BMI Federal Credit Union. Opening round of the Memorial, 3 players tied for the lead at -3. Ben Griffin, Akshay Bhatia, and Colin Morikawa. But overall, Muirfield Village holding her own on day 1. Justin Thomas tees off next hour and knew it would play tough.
The rough is, it's always long, but I've never seen it this long, so that's going to be quite a challenge. Just a tough golf course. I think it'd be tough if it didn't have firm greens and long rough, but it has both of those, so that makes it very tough.
JT tees off at 120. Again, Ben Griffin, Akshay Bhatia, and Colin Morikawa all at 3 under par. We'll have another report for you coming up next hour. Live outside of Muirfield Village, Skip Mossick on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Anthony wore his cleats today. You know, just in case. You're listening to Rothman and Ice live from the Memorial.
Presented by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. And sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
All right, back live at Memorial. Coming back a little bit, Skip Mossick with the update. Good to see Skip out here.
Yeah, one of the goats.
Doing our leaderboard updates for you. Akshay Bhatia, who I think weighs less than trying to think how much he weighs. Have you seen Akshay Bhatia?
I saw him.
Is that
on
a
TV
27-inch waist?
So in the television world, we kind of give our guys that we're big fans of. And I told Dom on air, I said, I like Akshay Bhatia. He's one of my 3 guys. And Dom said, what did you say? Who is Akshay Bhatia? And then he spent the next 30 or so seconds trying to pronounce the name Akshay Bhatia.
The cool thing is I haven't even introduced you yet, and you just fire out with that nugget. It is Adam King of 10 TV.
It won't happen again.
And he sidled up to us at the media buffet, and then now he's on with us. So So I'm not going to kill you on the 3 picks because I have a tradition here that is. I didn't plan this, but I realized I have a loophole. So I'll say who I think is going to win the tournament, and then I'll start second-guessing that. It's genuine.
Okay.
And then at the end, I'll change my pick. So really, if my previous one does well, I'll get like half credit because I actually said him.
Come on.
But he won't be my official pick.
There's only 70 guys in the field here, Rothman.
72.
72.
Okay. Why don't you cover the tournament, sir, and do some research?
I apologize. It won't happen again. What is it? So, what do you start 70 days out from the tournament? You're like, all right, I'll take care of it.
No, I only
the
have one guy.
You say Denny McCarthy. By the time it gets here,
then you named all the field.
Yeah.
To AR's credit, we did end the show with him officially stamping Oberg as his
That's
pick.
because he watched my pick on 10 TV Plus.
We can't have any of this nonsense though, where you guys are picking 2-3 guys. Like,
I only have
Listen,
one. He said he had 3.
Listen, I have Oberg as my winner. But I also
go talk to him because he's won over.
I know, but I also have a thing in the world of golf. You can pick a top 5 and shape them up. And my top 5, like the guys that I think could be up there, Akshay Bhatia, Ludwig Oberg, and Justin Thomas. And I have that in writing for when Akshay Bhatia finishes number 2 behind Ludwig Oberg.
Okay, so if Oberg doesn't win and one of the other 2 guys do win, you cannot claim them as your winner.
I did not pick them as my winner.
Okay,
I can claim that I thought, hey, I said they would do really well out here at this tournament. Those are 2 different things.
That's a funky loophole that I don't think I can rock with.
Rothman has a loophole. I have a loophole. Do you have a loophole?
No, I do not. I picked one man, and I picked
What's your
Victor
man?
Hovland. Victor Hovland's going to do it again.
I picked the guy that won 2 years ago.
Exactly. It's not like me picking Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, that is true.
Yesterday.
Like Dom.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with a guy saying who he really believes is going to win the tournament. But, yes, I set a rule yesterday, which is, okay, let's just make this the non-Scheffler picks.
I do like that.
And,
I like that rule.
And Maddie's got a guy that's doing pretty well.
He was 30-1, Victor Hovland to win.
I will say, I said to Dom the other day as he announced he was picking Scotty Scheffler, that ledger going out on looks pretty thick.
With Dom, it's usually Bo Hoag or like the number one player in the world,
hey, you know
or
what?
both.
And Bo Hoag, we're still waiting on him. He's got it in there somewhere.
Yeah, so let's either go local, appease the masses, or let's go number one player in the world, and then I got them both covered. So Dom's loophole is a lot bigger than mine.
Yeah, let's
of
not
course
compare
it is.
sizes of the loophole.
Well, that's how I measure myself against other golfers, by loophole.
I will say, for those of you that can't see, Rothman has been out here all of 36 minutes, and you're already very tan. You look great. Look, you got some sun. Wow.
I feel like it was yesterday. I was hiking the hills when you were inside in the media center just hanging out.
I was hiking the hills of the taco bar. Do you just lay in the grass in between the segments? Because what people can't see, you're in a shaded tent. You don't get the sun. This is you need to let the sun in.
Well, if you're a real team player, you would know people can see us because there's a camera right there, and we're live on YouTube.
Oh, no! I checked
so
before I gave you the old shoulder rub that there was. I didn't know if they brought it out here. Well,
no awareness.
Right. All righty.
No awareness.
I've never
had
my
hotel, there's somebody always watching.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
That's what happens. All right, so are you covering anything today, or is this just see me at 6 and I'll tell you who's leading?
So we at 10 TV... Let me get my We at 10 TV believe in covering more than just the golf here at the Memorial Tournament.
Okay.
So my stories, there's a bunch of them out there, great stories. I put a mic on Barbara Nicholas. I spent the day with her yesterday. Hung out, got to hear what it's like to be the first lady of golf. So that'll air today. We got a great story. They let the veterans caddy on 16 during the Pro-Am, put that together yesterday. That's going to air.
Okay.
So it's
so your work is done.
Well, no, not by any means.
It's in the can. It's what it sounded like to me.
No. And then tomorrow's Folds of Honor Friday, which is a great day. I absolutely love that.
So you actually put a lavalier microphone on the honoree.
Yeah.
And just wherever she went, you went?
You had to be nervous, first of all, doing that, right?
I'll say this. I think Barbara and I get along very well. It was very cool, and I have really enjoyed this aspect. It's something we had somebody come to our station and kind of talk about the fly-on-the-wall aspect of being in TV, and I've come to love it. So every story I try to do. Yesterday we were lucky enough to put a mic on Larry Fitzgerald during the Pro-Am.
Cool guy.
Got out of the way, put the mic on him, and then, from afar you can just hear what they're talking about. Vibing,
Hot mic.
Hot mic. And then I say after everything, hey, these are the pieces I have to use against you. That's what I'm going to run. All the stuff that can and will be used against you has been clipped out.
But Jack approved of this?
Well, Jack said, I don't do a good Jack. Can you do the Jack for me?
I can do it.
He said, what's that for? What are we doing
Listen, Adam, I'm not sure what kind of boutonniere you're putting on my wife, but I won't have that here. Why are you moving in on my lady?
I will say
you're making time with his best girl. Judge Smales.
That's Judge Smales. I got to do it. What, you got to get high with the voice?
It's a little nasally, isn't it?
It's just got to come from kind of like the back.
They're making the golf ball too far.
No, it's still too much Adam
King in there.
The
golf ball's going way too some kind of long.
Some kind of long.
All right, so he approved of this?
There's an opener right there.
It?
He stamped it. He approved it. And you can see it today on 10 TV.
Are you approving of these kickoff times that just dropped, my friend?
Garbage!
Real quick, for the folks that are just hopping on, Texas, Ohio State.
This guy just looked as I screamed at
him. I don't know if it was that guy. I thought it was the girl. All you did is look right at her.
And
she's walking by, fairly attractive young girl, and Adam just goes, looks like garbage.
Yeah, that was
we're
tough.
Just calling them
the
out
outfit?
Yeah, we're calling them out as they come in.
It's tough for you. Tough look for you, AK. But real quick, Texas, Ohio State is noon. Grambling, Ohio State, 3:30. Ohio, OU, those Bobcats coming into the shoe. That's a 7 o'clock kick, Adam King. Your reaction to the breaking news, if you will, for Ohio State's 2025 schedule.
If you will. If you'll let me have your ear. What are we doing allowing Texas to make any call in this decision? I understand if you're going to change the day of the game, they get to have a little bit of a say, but it's stupid. It's ridiculous. Also, if you're going to play it at noon, just play the games at noon, all right? Don't play Ohio University at 7 o'clock, because you know what that does?
It's a longer
you
day
spend the whole day, and then you got to watch OU. And if you're from Athens, I understand. It's a great college.
Great
love
party.
it.
Great
yeah,
party.
great party town. The primetime game is going to be on, and you're going to have to watch Ohio State OU 56 to nothing.
Well, here's what they could do. They could stop taking the money and just say, we're going to play our games when we want. But guess what? They like the money.
No doubt.
Listen, I'm not saying that they didn't put themselves in this hole, but I can still complain about the hole because as somebody replied to one of my tweets, you signed the paper, you took the money, you can't complain. I signed nothing. Okay, I put my name nowhere, and I will complain until the day I die because it is my God-given right.
Well, you are appeasing the masses by saying that, and I know you like to do that. So
you know what? You want a hot take that doesn't appease the masses?
Yeah, let me hear this.
Anthony Rothman, not that good looking. Doesn't do it for me.
I can't stand for that. I can't stand for that. You can't come on our set and get after my guy.
They're rioting here. They're showing up at the tent.
Your last appearance was today.
This was a great Tuesday. I really enjoyed it. This was the best weekly segment.
Here's what your marching orders are.
All right.
Go find Oberg and give him a good kick in the seat of the pants and get him going.
Do you think if you just
No, it sounds awesome, Adam. What you just did.
Everybody just turned off their radios. Fish has now fired me. It's
he didn't even hire you.
That's fair.
Yeah, how can he fire you if he hasn't hired you?
We need to find him, and we need.
How can you be busy with marketing and sales when I haven't given you the product yet?
Yeah, hey, there you go.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah. Sometimes when it goes south, it goes south. We don't want that to happen here with Ludwig Oberg.
All right, so that's it. But the good news is Victor Hovland came back a little bit, so that's the good news.
And Akashai Batia.
Okay, don't have Dom pronounce any golf names.
He can pronounce Scotty Scheffler.
See if you can go in there and ask him if he remembers a Cleveland Cavalier named Zadrunas Ilgauskas.
Amazing.
And see if he can pronounce it.
Yeah, and he says Z.
Yeah.
What the hell? I don't need to put
Z.
that guy. I don't know how to say it.
All right, so from here back to the media center.
In the AC.
Get some.
I'm going to sit right in front of you guys and watch this show live for the next 2 hours.
Please
what are you
don't.
talking about?
Please don't.
I'll cheer and boo with my thoughts. Look, I'm going with
heckler.
That. They got a guy walking past with two
kegs there,
two kegs right there. I'm going where he's going.
All right, do us another favor. Don't call any of these patrons garbage anymore. You kind of just threw that out, and you gave her a complex. She put on her best outfit and came out to Muirfield Village, and the first guy she sees is Adam King saying, that's garbage.
I didn't mean to, but she for sure is never living that one down.
You gave her a wink after you said it.
And I said it very aggressively, too. Just garbage. Looked her right in the eye. My apologies, ma'am.
We're only 45 minutes in. All right, we're going to come back. Thanks, big man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'll see you guys same day next week.
See you in the media tent.
Hopefully, Rothman. You look beautiful today.
Thanks, buddy. Preseason seriousness, why this star wants to play. We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Anthony Rothman, not that good looking.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well loved. And well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I'm going to let you know that right now, Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings is offering their best discount of the year on all their awesome sheds, pavilions, cabins, and garages from Weaver Barnes. These specials are only good through May, which makes right now the best time to order. Check out Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings' beautiful sales lot in Dublin, where you can see their displays and learn about all the options. There's never been a better time to get that project in motion and save some cash in the process. See all the details at AmishCountryFurnishings.com. Once again, that's AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan. a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
Sun, splashes, and nonstop fun await at Zoombezi Bay.
Get your 2025 season pass for unlimited thrills,
including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
The power of Dell AI with Intel Inside is transforming the world of pro sports. Teams can see curveballs coming with predictive analytics. Coaches can use AI insights to help players improve their shots in real time. And fans can get more out of every winning moment with AI-enhanced replays.
Unbelievable! What a play!
See how Dell Technologies with Intel Inside can power your wins at Dell.com/win.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Rothman and Ice, live from the Memorial.
Come on. Presented by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. And sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
All right, though, the one time I not fade him, but don't take him, Colin Morikawa, he's all of a sudden on fire. So that shows you what I deserve. He's birdied 5, 7, 8, and 10, and he's going to the par 5 11th. He's 4 under. So look out for Ring Your Morikawa bell, because he is currently with a ring around that 4 with a fire emoji right now.
Yeah, he's locked
for you
in,
young
brother.
kids out there.
He's locked in.
Go ahead,
man.
No, I was going to say Victor's at -1.
Bunch of guys at -1. They are Victor Hovland, Max Homa, Corey Connors, Tommy Fleetwood. Then you got some guys right there at even, some big names, Ricky Fowler and Tony Finau as well.
All right, so I started thinking about, and we'll play some more sound later on about with Larry Fitzgerald and the whole flag football comment. He's against it. We won't go to that right now. But Jamar Chase made a comment. Was this yesterday, Matty?
Yeah, this was over the last couple of days. And, there's been a theme over the last few years when it comes to the Bengals, whether it's because of injuries or guys not getting reps in training camp. They've got off to sluggish starts, and you can make a case that because of what they've been able to do, where they turn it on late, that some of these early season losses have haunted them. So now you've got one of the stars of the team in Jamar Chase throwing it out there and saying, to avoid another slow start, the old Bengals starters, might need to play in the preseason. And it's always an interesting conversation to have because the injury risk is always there with what sport they are playing, but it's also the timing and how much reps and all that stuff you need in the coach's mind. I do think that this unit, because of their history, you get them out there for maybe a half or two throughout the entire preseason, and then you put those guys on ice. And the reason why I don't think they need that much work, honestly, is because this core has been together for a while and played at a very, very high level, especially the guys on offense. The familiarity between Higgins and Chase and Joe Burrow, those guys can connect passes, I think, with their eyes closed. But I do think you need those real football reps when things start to ratchet up, when teams really start to hone in on what they want to be closer to the season. So I actually don't have a problem with them going out there and getting a nice amount of work in the preseason, even though in the back of everybody's mind it's going to be, we don't want these guys to get injured because obviously these games don't count.
So this is an absolute straight reaction to how they've started.
Yeah.
There's no other way to think about it. Because if Cincinnati started 3-0, 4-1 in the last several years, nobody would want them even close to the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going on where, and the coaches would know more than any of us, whether they can really apply that we don't feel like we have the chemistry or the momentum starting the season because we're not treating the preseason, I don't know, as serious. I'm big on the preseason. That's for guys that want to try to make the team still, guys that have a last audition in them or rehearsal. I always look at this, and it's very hard to play results because that's where my mind goes. Because we're having this conversation. It's a very easy conversation to have right now that it makes sense. Fast forward your mind to a preseason game in 2025 this year, and all of a sudden you have a preseason game and one of those guys tweaks something.
Mm-hmm.
You know the conversation you and I are having the next day? How in the world could they be so dumb? And I don't want to do that now because that would be strictly playing results and crushing them for it. So my feeling on it is pretty simple and probably fairly objective. They will judge after training camp where they think they are mentally and physically and how they want to treat preseason. Because if they're guys that maybe are a little beaten up from training camp or have something going on, that it's all orchestrated at a fairly high level. If you're telling me that the ultimate tiebreaker is we don't feel good about where we are as a rhythm, as an offense, as a unit, then I'm all for it. You want to sprinkle in a couple series because you could easily get hurt in the opener as you can in preseason. It would suck to get hurt in preseason because it's almost like you go to the unnecessary card. Why was he out there?
Right.
And so I don't want to be that guy today.
Because to your point,
in late May, it wouldn't make sense.
I'm with you. And we saw what Joey B, he got hurt in training camp a couple years ago when he was rolling out, right, in a practice and messed up, had a lower extremity injury. The elephant in the room is exactly what you identified. And the numbers back up why they believe probably in that building they need to get their guys out there because since Zach Taylor took over, and it's been 6 seasons of this, the Bengals have gone 1-11 in the first 2 weeks of their season. They are 4-13-1 through 3 weeks under Zach Taylor's watch. So they play behind. And when you're in a conference with Lamar and Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen and some other really good quarterbacks and teams, those games are the difference. And especially when you're the Bengals, you're thinking in our minds, hey, the AFC could come through us if we get off to a good start with how talented we are as a team and the experience we have as a team. And so it will be fascinating to see how they go about it. Their preseason schedule, AR, looks as such. They've got the Philadelphia Eagles week 1 on the road. They will go to Washington on week 2 of the preseason on a Monday night on ESPN at 8 o'clock. And then their third preseason game will be at home against Indy. I would like for them to get some good-on-good work with Philadelphia and Washington, 2 of the top teams in the NFC. Get them in, get them out, get some clean reps, hopefully, and get those guys ready to rock and roll for the regular season.
Yeah, listen, I'm looking at it, getting off to a good start is priority for any NFL team. You see those stats they're throwing out every year, the chances of a team making the playoffs at 0-2, 0-3 especially. It doesn't happen very often, if at all. Now, certainly the season's a little longer now, 17 games, but they have the ability to certainly come out of the gates and win football games. They're going to be going against whatever quarterback Cleveland's going to be throwing out there. They do get Jacksonville at home, so they'll be favored in that. They'll go to my Vikes, which I understand is no gimme. That's on the road, tougher place to play, but it is against a rookie quarterback, although their defense really isn't much to boast about. And then it's at Bo Nix, home against Goff, at Jordan Love, home against the Steelers. So if you could do something in those first 3 games, 2-1 at worst,
that's what you want.
Then all of a sudden, I think you and I have talked about this. I have no scientific evidence to back up that if these guys play in the preseason, it gives them this X advantage into winning. Only the coaches would know that, and I think it's going to be a feel late in camp on what they feel they've accomplished and what they haven't.
Yeah, and we don't know. I haven't seen yet. Maybe it's out there and I missed it, whether or not they're doing joint practices with anybody. Maybe it will be Philly or Washington or Indy, one of those teams they're playing in a preseason game. Because a lot of times you hear a coach talk about how valuable they think that is, man. You get in these controlled atmospheres. You can have guys getting after it to a certain degree, but it's not actually a game as we know, but it's pretty close to that as well. We know what this team can be. The defense has to do their part. If the defense does their part, this team will be right there in the mix for the division and probably the 1 seed as well.
All right, we'll come back. Top of the hour, Sports Center update. We'll give you an update also on the leaderboard, where things stand out here at Memorial, and we'll stay with quarterbacks for 1,000, Alex. We will talk about the one up in Cleveland, the one that may be the head of the snake. That's next. Rothman and Ice, live at Memorial on the Fan.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
The Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame moment looks at perfection. On Friday evening, September 16th, 1988, the Reds were getting ready to host the first game of a big weekend series against then division rival Los Angeles. The Dodgers would go on to win the World Series, but on this night, the baseball gods would be smiling down on a 28-year-old left-hander from Casper, Wyoming. After a 2-hour and 27-minute rain delay, Tom Browning would finally throw the first pitch of the game. 1 hour and 51 minutes later, he would throw the last and forever be a special part of Cincinnati Reds history.
There is no one standing that we can see, or sitting rather, that we can see in this ballpark. They are all up and on their feet and rooting individually and collectively for Browning to get one final out. He is ready for the 2-2 to Woodson, and here it comes. And it is swung out and missed. And Tom Browning has pitched a perfect game. 27 outs in a row, and he is being mobbed by his teammates just to the third base side of the mound. A perfect game thrown by Tom Browning on this Friday night, September the 16th, 1988.
The Hall of Fame moment is brought to you by Western and Southern Financial Group. Put their financial strength behind you. Visit westernsouthern.com.
It's not a bird or a plane. It's Mega May discounts at Coughlin Ford. Take over $5,500 off MSRP on a new 24 Ford Escape. Employee price $28,000. Or take over $7,000 off MSRP on new 25 F-150s and 24 F-250s. Visit CoughlinFord.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
All factory rebates to dealer. All prior sales excluded. In-stock units only. Must finance through Ford Motor Credit. Not all will qualify. No security deposit required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. N6225.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus. I'm Wilson from that other window place. One of my favorite things, Wilson, is the look on people's faces when they see the end price for Pella windows. Yeah, I'm always hearing, does it look like I'm wearing my money britches? More like, I can't believe we get the Pella look and quality at these prices. Oh, you went the other way with that. You're hearing good things. Oh, this is awkward. Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This just in. The NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Round one at the 50th Memorial Tournament underway out at Muirfield Village. Colin Morikawa, your leader at -4. He's through 10 holes. Shane Lowry, Ben Griffin, Bud Colley, and Andrew Novak all one stroke back at -3. Your leader in the clubhouse at -2 is Akshay Bhatia. World number one Scotty Scheffler tees off at 1:30. We now know the start times for Ohio State's first 3 games this season, and the Texas game to open is going to be a familiar time. It is officially Big Noon on Fox. Week 2 against Grambling is a 3:30 kick on the Big Ten Network. Week 3 versus OU is the Peacock game at 7 o'clock. Game 5 of the NBA's Western Conference Finals tonight at Madison Square Garden as the Knicks host the Pacers at 8. New York needs to win to avoid elimination. Breaking sports news as it happens on The Fan.
Good afternoon, friends. You're listening to a special edition of Rothman and Ice, live from the Memorial.
Presented by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. And sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
All right, back live at Memorial as I get up from grabbing a little bench in the commercial break there. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the whole cast of thousands here from the Fan. Colin Morikawa right up there. That's a guy who came here during COVID for the first time, took about $24,000 out of here. And then in 2021, there's a second for about $1 million, and then another one in 2024. So it's weird because, you know, he'd missed the cut in 22. He was one of those guys that you looked at and said, all right, this guy's going to be around forever. Just he had that kind of game, great iron game, just all there. And so we'll see. Everyone is kind of clamoring to win this tournament for the money, for the fame, for the glory, and all that, but mostly for the money.
Because first you get the money.
Then you get a power, then you get a woman.
There it is.
So anyway, that's your leaderboard that Bake threw out there again. And yeah, listen, Ben Griffin still hanging in there at 4 under, and Collins at 4 under. And we got a couple guys that certainly, your guy Victor Hovland back to 2 under now.
I see you, Vic.
Where's my okay, it's over. Oberg's +3.
Oh,
see,
no.
I should have stayed with my first pick.
Well, it was the jinx. It was the jinx. You, Adam King, and who else were we talking to?
Reimer Reason took him as well.
We had our guy
2
Jacob
doubles.
Reimer picking Oberg, and then that's the 97 won the Fan curse.
Well, not only that, it was, I'm pretty sure he made a double at 11 without going in the water. That's not that easy for a world-class pro to do that. And then the other part about it is, I told you he'd only been here once. But he was so good in that one time, I bought into the talent. at least make the cut.
He'll get there.
Let's not put that.
We got a whole
in
nother day. He'll get you a couple birdies on the back here, and we'll get it done.
Well, he's coming off a double, Matty,
He'll
going
lock
to 12.
in.
So
he's due.
As they say in golf, we're running out of holes.
Jordan Spieth. That's a name I don't hear anything about anymore. What is going on with Jordan
playing
Spieth?
Decently lately. It's a roller coaster ride.
He was one of those guys out of the gate. Man, young guy came on the tour, and we're thinking, okay,
that's right.
Could this guy be one of those next? Maybe not Scotty's or Tiger, but be in contention more times than not. His game just seems hit or miss now. It's disappointing because I think the tour really could use another name like that to really add some juice to these fields. But right now, Jordan Spieth, looking at this AR through 12. He is +2 as well.
Yeah, so between 2015 and 2017, he was about as good as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
He was that guy. I remember having a bet with a listener. I think it was Terp Boy. Do you remember Terp Boy?
No, I'm not remember Terp
So
Boy.
Terp Boy had bet me. I said that Jordan Spieth would win a major before Tiger would win another one.
This was prior to 19 at the Masters for Tiger?
Yes, this was prior.
Okay.
And when Jordan won the Masters in 2015, I think I cashed that bet.
That's the last major for Jordan?
No. He won the British Open in 2017.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but listen, we're in 25.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, 17 feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It was not. All right, so do you buy into this whole certain quarterbacks don't mind being mentors?
It's an interesting conversation that we've had over, like, the last couple of years. This popped up, I think, a few years ago in Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis gets drafted out of Liberty, and he threw it out there. Look, it's not my job. It's not my job to mentor the young guy and drag him along, especially when you look at where Tannehill was at that point in his career. This is a guy that's obviously trying to hold on to that starting job, had done some decent things as their QB1. Vraves leading the charge there. That Tennessee team had some good years. But teams are always obviously looking to get younger and finding a next guy, and that's exactly where the Browns are right now. And so you do have a vet in house in Joe Flacco, who in Cleveland came in, did some awesome things, right? Explosive arm, playmakers were loving it, Browns fans were loving it. You get to the postseason, then you get into that game with Houston, and it kind of falls apart. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of Browns fans will always have respect for Flacco for how he saved the year and brought life back to that franchise. So now he's in an interesting spot.
Yeah.
Because Flacco, in his mind, is probably thinking, hey, I can still be a guy. I can still be the guy. I know this offense well. I obviously know the head coach well and what he wants to do. But now with the Browns bringing in Dylan Gabriel and bringing in Shedeur Sanders and Kenny Pickett, who's not an old guy at all, he is now viewed as the mentor, or should be in minds of some people, the mentor of that group. He spoke to the media yesterday, and here's what Flacco had to say about that situation.
Because it's a good question to bait somebody into answering, and no matter how they answer it, it kind of makes the guy that's answering it look bad. If I say I don't want to be a mentor, I look bad. If I say I do want to be a mentor, then I look like an idiot that doesn't care about being good and playing football. So it's one of those questions that no matter what I say, you guys can write what you want to write about it. And there's a lot of questions like that. That's why you end up having to try to avoid them. I tend to try to be honest, and I've said I'm not a mentor. I play football. And in a quarterback room, there's a lot of times there's been a ton of times where there's learning experiences, and I have a lot of experience, and I can talk on things, and hopefully they listen. But it's not necessarily like my job to like make sure they listen to me. And hey, like hopefully you have a really good relationship with the guys that are in the room, and you naturally want to do that, But that was a long-winded answer, but that's ultimately why I think you guys ask it,
It's an incredible savvy answer from a savvy vet.
No doubt.
Because he's dead on right. There's only one publicly good answer, and that's we're teammates. We're going to help who's ever in there do the best he can, and we're all looking to help each other. And at the end of the day, we wear the same uniform.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm going to be a cheerleader for other guys. There could be some truth to that, as I play his publicist for a second. The other side of it is, like he said, I'm a competitor who's 40-plus years old.
Mm-hmm.
I got very few laps around this track. I'm not here to hold a clipboard, and I'm not here to learn anything I don't already know. I'm here to play the best football I can and be the best man for the job, hopefully, at the end of training camp. And if the coaches put faith in me, I'm going to lead this team out on the field like I have before. So there's really no good answer. But at the end of the day, they are teammates. So you can't play he can't be completely honest. The honest answer is, I'm holding stuff back. I'm not telling some of these young guys some things I know because it gives me an advantage to winning the job.
Mm-hmm. When he sits down with his wife at home, he's probably saying, you know what? I'm trying to whoop their tail every day. That's the real answer because, like you said, and I think that was the best point of all this, ARs, this is a guy that's looking at the runway that he has left in this league, and it's very short as a starter. It is very short, and so he wants to grab a hold of that. Shedeur Sanders did come out and say, when he spoke to Kay Adams, that the vibes are very good in that quarterback room. He's not feeling any resentment from anybody. All of these guys are obviously high-level competitors. So I wouldn't knock any of these guys for saying, okay, you know what? Yeah, if there's a question here, question there, I'm willing to help you out. But this is a kind of every man for themselves because this job is up for grabs. Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry have made it known that in their minds right now, there is not a starter at the moment. Do I believe that? Probably not, because if we always like to play the game, if you needed to play a game today, who you're rolling with, and I think he would have a guy in mind, and one of those guys I think would be, or the guys I think it would be between is Pickett and Joe Flacco. And so for Flacco, I respect what he said because it's an honest answer, and he's a guy as well that's been down this road before because at the back end of his career in Baltimore, the Ravens came back into the first round and they drafted Lamar. And you had that situation to where Lamar was getting some reps in games, Joe Flacco was still getting reps in games, and there were some people out there in Baltimore that highlighted Joe's frustration. Now, that's a totally different situation because Joe won a Super Bowl for that franchise, so he probably felt like they did him a little dirty at the time. But I'm sure he's learned from that. He's going to move forward in the direction every single day coming in the building to be the best quarterback he can be. I don't think he would completely shut down anything when it comes to Shedeur or Dylan asking him certain questions, but he doesn't need to baby them as well. So I don't mind that at all. I think those guys would understand it. He gets it. Kevin Stefanski, it's his job to figure this out and get things cleaned up. That way those guys can go out there and be the best quarterbacks they can be.
I'll end it this way. I don't think he's the guy they want to win the job.
No,
I think they prefer one of their future guys, whether it's Pickett or Gabriel or Shedeur, to basically earn the job. We'll take a break. We'll come back live from Memorial. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're known for three things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Bets are us when dreams don't get in. Bets are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Bets are us when dreams don't get in. Bets are us.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone, and I'm going to let you know that right now, Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings is offering their best discount of the year on all their awesome sheds, pavilions, cabins, and garages from Weaver Barnes. These specials are only good through May, which makes right now the best time to order. Check out Getchy's Amish Country Furnishings' beautiful sales lot in Dublin, where you can see their displays and learn about all the options. There's never been a better time to get that project in motion and save some cash in the process. See all the details at AmishCountryFurnishings.com. Once again, that's AmishCountryFurnishings.com.
Dealin' days are back at Lindsay Honda. Lock in your deal in May. Save thousands on hundreds of new Hondas. Simply pick your new 2025 Honda and enjoy 0% for up to 60 months. Yes, 0% for up to 60 months on all new 2025 Hondas, including HRV, Pilot, and Ridgeline.
Cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Lindsay's got it, and you're gonna save.
See you, Lindsay Honda, during Dealin' Days.
See LindsayHonda.com for details.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through May 31st, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now with Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
After an audit of our programming, the suits here at The Fan decided we needed more baseball. And that common man is stupid. Good news. We fixed one of those problems. Catch the Reds on The Fan all season long. Yay, baseball.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are expecting a mix of clouds and sunshine. More sunshine here by the afternoon with highs back into the mid-70s. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies, lows into the upper 50s, and those clouds will be ahead of our next system that brings rain back into the area here for Friday. Rainfall could be heavy at times as we look ahead to the morning hours. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony orders 3 milkshakes, 1 for himself, 2 for the dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice live from the Memorial Tournament.
Presented by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. And sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Yeah, they love it. The dogs love those shakes. Everybody loves them, including a guy named Austin Ecro, who, by the way, is a former 4-time All-American at Oklahoma State University, OSU. We have our own OSU here. I know you know that. Good to have you aboard. I know you told me in the break that you probably got the most out of the round maybe you deserved.
Yeah, for sure. I was out of position all day. I didn't drive it too great, but it caught up to me on 18 and made a double. But it was still a solid day, and 1 over par on this golf course is not bad. Yeah,
1 over par is not bad. It keeps you in the mix. All right, tell the folks listening about this rough, because I've described it this way. Think of the thickest, nastiest stuff you can, get that in your mind, and then double it. Yeah. And I think you got it.
Yeah, this is my 3rd time playing this event, and it's always been nasty rough. And I was, kind of had a memory of what it was last year and the year before, and I came out here and it was totally different. I mean, it's so thick. I chipped out of the rough from several times with wedges today. I chipped out 5 times, I think, today on the golf course just to be able to hit my next shot on the green. On a 3rd shot on a par 5 today from 101 yards to the front of the green, I had to hit it straight sideways. Wasn't able to go for the green. It was just, it's just nasty. And the ball just sinks down to the bottom. Occasionally you'll get lucky and catch one in the middle, and you can kind of take a whack at it, but for the most part, you're just chipping out.
Walk us through your post-round routine and what that looks like for you. I'm sure it's different for a lot of guys, but how do you get ready for the next day? Is it film work, going out to the range, the greens? Like, what does that look like for you? Yeah,
I think it depends on the day, on what you saw out there. Like for me today, I felt really comfortable with my iron play. I felt really comfortable with my chipping and putting, so I really just got to start driving it better. Yeah. And that's typically my strong suit is my driver, so it's just go out there and, I won't overthink it too much. Just go and hit a few good drives and move on to tomorrow.
Austin Ecro with us here, 1 over par today. He'll certainly be looking to be in the mix tomorrow. So how tough is that to take your medicine? Because I know, listen, all you guys want to try to save par, save a number. Maybe the decision is taken out of your hands because the rough's so bad. But you do have to try to go sideways, because I noticed at 18, did you think you could advance it more on 18?
No, I was still trying to chip out on 18,
were?
but I was just trying to hit it over the next bunker.
Corner.
And then it just came out with nothing. And then we honestly almost lost the ball. We were looking for it. We probably looked for 2.5 minutes for the last ball, and then luckily my caddy almost stepped on it. So it's just, you have to take your medicine. I did it on hole 1 today. I had to chip out, made par. I had to do it on 11. Had to do it on, or not on 11, on 15. I mean, I can't think of all of them, but I did it several times today. And that's honestly, we don't do that often. A lot of times we have nasty rough, but you can at least advance it up near the green. This time, I mean, you actually have to chip out.
Do you find this fair? Do you? I mean, is this the true? Because I could easily see where you'd get really frustrated and say that this is unfair.
Right. I mean, you're going to have your pessimists out here that think it's only happening to them, and they're going to see someone else try to hit it on the green. But it's going to happen to everybody all week. It's just when it happens, and the mood you're in. But for the most part, it's going to, if you hit it in the rough, you got to expect that you're going to have to chip out.
There's so many golf fans that would dream to go down to Augusta, right, and just be a part of that scenery. This is an awesome scene here at Jack's Place, but you've been down there. Take us inside the ropes, what the course is like, and just that venue and the energy that's down there at Augusta.
Yeah, it's a really, really special place. When you get there when you go early and do your couple practice rounds, it's, there's no one out there, and there's, the framing of the holes is kind of interesting, and then the tournament starts, and, every hole's tree line, or not even on the tournament day, on Monday, because they sell the same amount of tickets every day. These holes have a different framing almost because of the fans lining the fairways, and it's just a really, really cool spot. It's a small, one thing I noticed, it's a smaller property than I thought it was. Like, the greens and tees are all close to each other. I didn't realize that until I played for the first time, and it's just like I said, it's just a special place.
Where were the nerves the first time you played? Where were they at?
They were out of this world. On Monday, I felt like I was driving. It was more so Tuesday. On Monday, I was excited. On Tuesday, I knew how many people were out there, and the first time I played. And it was I felt like I was leading on Sunday, like coming down the stretch, and was a little anxious, like driving to the golf course. I was nervous driving on my way. And then this year, I didn't have that as much. I knew what to expect, and but just it's crazy.
How do you calm them? They got to hit the first shot, I guess, and get that out of your system. Is there anything special that you've done, or any mental work where you go through that process?
Not so much. I kind of let the nerves come, and just, I think it's kind of fun. That's why we do it. And, that always means that, you're in a special moment in a cool spot, and you're either coming down the wire or you're somewhere cool. So it's just, I let it come, and I like to enjoy it.
Austin Ecro with us. He is 5 off the lead, 1 over par today at Jack's house, so he's definitely in the mix. All right, tell me the story. You're a kid, you're growing up in Oklahoma, you go to Southern Hills, and you're a little kid dreaming of doing this. What do you remember from those times and the golfers that you wanted to follow back then?
Yeah, I was pretty young in that PGA. I remember seeing Tiger. That's like the main memory I have from that event.
How old were you?
Man, I had been 7 years old or so. And, I just remember seeing Tiger. I don't remember any of the golf, but I just remember, seeing him, and it was just so cool. And, obviously I was so young at that time. I was still playing basketball, football, baseball. I was playing everything. I didn't know what I wanted to play.
Were you an autograph seeker at that time as a little kid?
No, I never really was. When I got a little older, I used to go down to the Colonial. It was only a 3-hour drive from home, and that's whenever Ricky Fowler was, when I was a kid, and that's whenever he first burst on the scene, and Hunter Mahan and guys like that, other Oklahoma State guys, and I would get their autographs and stuff. But I never really got into that side of it.
You hear minor league baseball players say sometimes when they get called up to the big leagues, it's the food, it's the travel, it's all that stuff. For you, when you made it to the tour, was there one of those moments where you're like, I've made it? Was it the catering? Was it the travel, the sponsors? What was that aha moment? I've officially made it, and something cool that you checked off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just weird. You kind of, whenever I got my PGA Tour card, it was right off the Korn Ferry Tour, and you go straight into it because it was back whenever the PGA Tour season started in the fall. So I just finished my season on the Korn Ferry Tour, and I wasn't secured. I didn't get it to the last event. And then we had rookie orientation, and then the next week I was playing on the PGA Tour. So I never really sank in, and I just kept playing golf. And then, when I finally won was kind of the moment where I was like, all right, I get to do this for several more years. I'm a PGA Tour player. This is pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, you won twice last year. Austin Ecro, brought to you by First Bank of Central Ohio here on The Fan. All right, so Nicholas, the meeting, the first meeting, the conversations, anything that sticks in your mind with the GOAT.
Right. Yeah, the first time I met him was at the Walker Cup at Seminole in 2021 when I was in college. We were in the locker room. He was just giving us a speech, just kind of getting to know us and asked where we're from. And we had another kid on the team who played at the same home course I do at home at Oak Tree National. And I think he played a PGA out there in '88. And he just told us he hated that golf course. So that was kind of fun.
That is funny. All right, so let's kind of get into some other things. You're a Cowboy, Oak State. Mike Gundy fired everybody but himself, I think. What's your anticipation? He was there when you were in school. He's been there forever.
Right.
Your thoughts? I think you guys go to Eugene this year also. I think you play Oregon in the
I think we do,
conference.
yeah. Early season.
Are you a diehard? Is your family diehards?
Yeah, I grew up in, diehard OSU fan, season tickets, and went to all the games. Huge Gundy fan, since I was a kid. You look back at our history over the last, 15, 20 years. I mean, we've been a top 15 team, year in, year out, on our good years, obviously. Last year wasn't so great, but, he's been incredible for us. I mean, he's turned our program around, and a lot of faith in him when it comes to our football program.
When you were in school, who was quarterbacking the football team at the time?
So we had Mason Rudolph for a little bit, Corn Dog for a while. Who was our last guy? Kind of blanking. That was my end of college was weird. It was COVID. It was just a weird time.
The Mason Rudolph era was the Justin Blackman connection as well.
I think he was before me.
Before you.
Like
okay.
that was like the back end.
Gotcha.
I think Whedon played with Blackman as well, right?
What are Saturdays like down there? Because up here they're absolutely crazy. The tailgating in that stadium. What's that scene looking like?
We have a great tailgate scene. Yeah. I mean, everybody does it. It's honestly, I'd rival it with a lot of places. Everybody, more people are tailgating than they are going into the game. Like when I was a kid, we had a tailgate, and we'd have 50 people there. My dad's there at 6 a.m., set up the night before. He's there at 6 a.m. cooking breakfast. And then, he's cooking, if it's a night game, he's cooking lunch too. And then, it's full rolling the whole time. And it's just I think the football scene at Oklahoma State is incredible.
Awesome. Yeah. Grew up with it. Austin Ecro here out at Memorial. Are you a milkshake guy this week?
I've had one this week. Okay. I had one last night. Okay. Treat myself before I got going.
You going off the board, or you taking one off the menu there?
I get the Buckeyes, which is crazy, with the wrong OSU, but it's
no, you can't go wrong with that. All right, favorite golf course in the world?
It's a tough question. I think Pebble Beach is the safe answer. I think it's no one can disagree with that. That's a cool place.
I give you 3 people. Your dream foursome of playing golf. You and who you picking?
You got to go with, I would say the goes with Tiger, Jack, and Arnie or Ben Hogan. Kind of, I'm not sure on that line.
So all golfers, no actors, no.
Okay. True. I mean, golfers are. I grew up wanting to be a golfer at the end. When I turned 12 or so, and those are my goats. Are the golfers.
Living the dream, man. Yeah. A lot of us are very envious, but also very much in admiration of what you guys do out here. I don't think anyone really – we don't play this kind of golf. We get to play media day and hack it around a little bit, but I'll tell you, this is not what we're used to, and I think that most people respect you guys to like the highest level. I hope you stay in the mix.
Yes.
Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Austin Ecro, Oklahoma State Cowboy, former 4-time All-American. I forgot to say, you did win the title, right?
We won the national championship.
Yeah, won the national championship
natty,
as well.
baby.
Yep, got a natty.
And third trip here to Memorial, you have made the cut.
Both times,
Both times. Mm-hmm. So we're going for that three-peat to make the cut and continue on. What a good dude. Root for him and give him a lot of applause out there this weekend. He should be around. Austin Ecro with us here on The Fan. All right, we'll come back, Maddie. We'll jump back into college football, talk Buckeyes and schedule and anticipation with our friend Pete Futek live on The Fan.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Oh my God, is this your house?
This is the humble abode.
Oh my God, it's so humble.
FX presents Adults.
You don't know your social security number?
No, I do. It's just my mom, knows the whole thing.
A new comedy about 20-somethings achieving zero anythings.
What is the worst that happens?
I go broke. I can't pay my loans. I start an OnlyFans, but only you guys subscribe.
I can't do OnlyFans.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it on there, so sorry.
FX's Adults. Wednesdays on FX. All episodes streaming on Hulu.
Get Mega May discounts at Coghlan Kia. Lease a new Kia K4, only $89 a month for 24 months. Or get 1.9% financing for 48 months. Or $2,000 bonus cash on a new 25 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. Visit CoglanKia.com.
$49.99 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year. 20 cents per mile over. Tax, title, and license fees excluded. No security deposit. $400 disposition fee at lease end. 1.9 for 48 equals $21.65 for 1,005. With approved credit through KMF. Residency restrictions may apply. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details. N6225.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
97.1 The Fan. Memorial Leaderboard Update.
And it's brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. Opening round at Muirfield Village, Ben Griffin, your winner a week ago, along with Colin Morikawa atop the leaderboard at the moment at 4 under par. Morikawa has played well here before.
It's a place I've always loved. Thankfully, the results have kind of followed from it, but it just fits. It's a tough golf course. It's playing really tough already so far. It's only going to get tougher, so which is great. 5 players are 2 back at -2. Defending champion Scotty Scheffler just getting started on his opening round. Again, your leaders, Ben Griffin and Colin Morikawa. We'll have another report for you next hour. Live outside of Muirfield Village, I'm Skip Mossick on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Maddie's looking all over Muirfield for a steamed broccoli and almond vendor. No luck. You're listening to Rothman and Ice live from the Memorial.
Presented by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. And sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
All right, back at it. You know, when I tabbed Austin Ecro as our guy, he was 3 under going to 18. And I thought, all right, he's going to be right there. He's 1 off the lead. So did I put the Rothman and Ice jinx on him, and then he doubled, but he still came over. That's class,
He did come over, and I'm proud of you.
He could have bailed.
I'm proud of you for not going Austin Eckler at any point. That's good work right there, because that could have easily been an Austin Eckler.
Guys were saying it back here, and they were trying to get it in my head.
You're a pro. All
right, the other pro is our friend Pete Futek, collegefootballnews.com. He is the publisher, and he joins us now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Peter Boy, how you doing?
I'm fine. All right, so I'll say this as a media guy, and I'll ask your opinion of this. In terms of stuff to go to, going to golfing events like that is fun, but you miss everything. You don't see what I went to the Ryder Cup several years ago, and I'm like, this is kind of boring. And my brother-in-law was like, this is the greatest match ever. You just don't see shot like you do on TV, and you miss it all.
All right, so you're not wrong. My dad has the exact same opinion. He's like, how good is it? Now, I will tell you, you have to pick your poison. You have to find maybe if you're one of those people that comes to the golf tournament, you want to follow guys. You can follow a highlighted group, but if you follow a highlighted group, Pete, you're also amongst thousands of people, so you're not even getting a good view. The other way to do this, and this is the tougher way, is to get here really damn early, park a chair at a green or a tee box. And then the problem with that, Pete, is you're sitting there for 4-6 hours just watching guys come through, hit shot after shot. I don't really know what to recommend, but I've said it.
Exactly that. So
yeah.
If you kind of remember, it was there in the Ryder Cup. There was the big hole with Rory and Patrick Reed where they hit these bomb putts. That was like, and they were both like fired up. It was like the thing. We missed it. We saw him on the tee, but had no clue what was happening on the green. So we kind of did what you said. It was like, wow, cool. There's Jordan Spieth, hitting 5 feet away from us. But you miss everything.
So here's what my recommendation, people that have never been to a golf tournament, a professional golf tournament that want to go. I don't believe you sit around the green. I think that the key to doing this is watching a world-class golfer hit a tee shot on a long par 4 or par 5. It's the most fun to watch that ball take off like an airplane and not come down. Honestly, it's the coolest thing. But other than that, you're right.
100,000%. Like Justin Johnson swung the club about as easily as you could swing it, and that thing went about 500 yards. It was the coolest thing ever to see.
So, Pete, it's good to hear from you again, man. There's been a lot of chatter over the last week or two and the last couple of days about the playoff and where this thing is headed, and do we have it right with the reseeding, the latest happenings with the college football playoff going into 2025. Your thoughts on what they've done, and are we doing this thing right now?
They're fine. They're going to eventually screw it up in some way, but it's the way they did it is fine. You shouldn't have had Boise State and Arizona State as a 3-4. And as long as there's a mechanism to get teams in to play your way in. So what stunk is when, we used to go into season, you used to talk late May, and you already know that like 90 teams are already eliminated because they have just no chance, even if they went 12-0. Now at least you know that if you're a Jacksonville State or somebody, and you go 12-0 or 13-0 with a conference championship and things kind of fly away, you got a shot to get in. So that I'm all for. And I do like the idea that, it brings in more teams to, if you win your conference championship, you're going to be in if you're a Power 4 team. That I'm all for. But then seed it accordingly because you do want – it's a tournament. You want the number one team, the perceived number one team, perceived number 2 team, all that kind of stuff right on down. So it's all right because it just wasn't fair that here's Oregon, who last year was the best team in the toughest conference in America, had already beaten Ohio State once, and they get a 1 seed, and their first round game is Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Like that you got to eliminate that a little, at least lessen that a little bit. And so for that, they did it right.
So. Listen, this is not a new thing, but Kiffin's been floating this as more of a pure playoff, which would be 16 teams, 4 rounds, no automatic bids. Every team has to earn an at-large selection. Now, the process would certainly involve the human element in a committee and analytics and stuff like that. You think we'd ever entertain any of that? I don't think the conference commissioners would be too much in favor of that, but where would you be on that if we went to 16, 4 rounds, no auto bid, straight bracket, you have to earn your way in?
This is all a solution in search of a problem because all the whining from the SEC and people like, we should get 4 automatic teams in. If there's a 16-team playoff, you're getting the Big Ten and SEC are going to get 4 teams in.
True.
Like that's going to happen no matter what. There's no reason to tick people off and say, well, we must get these teams. Look, the only deserving team that kind of missed out last year, if you just go by who beat whom and all that kind of stuff, would have been Alabama. And even then, you don't turtle like you did against Oklahoma, a bad Oklahoma team late in the season, and then start whining that you should be in. Ole Miss lost at home to Kentucky. So if you can't get in a 12-team playoff, then you did something wrong along the way, and you probably don't deserve it. If you can't win your conference title, you have no beef to, play for the national title. And I am against the idea. I know the college football playoff types. They're nice. They're lovely people. They don't know the ins and outs enough, and it's kind of a problem that they really start paying attention late in the game. So. I don't like keeping it in the hands of a panel of judges. There's got to be an automatic mechanism where, the Mountain West champ or MAC champ or whoever it is can say, hey, look, if we go 13-0 we got a shot to get in this thing.
Let's bring you into the Big Ten and lock in on Penn State and get your thoughts on what they can be or maybe should be in your mind, because they're viewed as the team this year that's bringing a lot of people back and has that experience now, got into the playoff last year, so they know what that's about. When you look at James Franklin, Drew Aller, and that cast of characters, are you a believer that now that this is a team and a program that is ready to win those big games and maybe even a national championship this season?
Not
we got some bad connection there with Pete. We can go ahead and
Yeah,
TLC, if you can't go ahead and fade him down. Yeah, James Franklin didn't want him to give the answer because the answer was probably not until I see it. Not until I see it, but they are that team. They are the team this year. And look, Drew Aller, he did make some leaps last year. They had an awesome tight end in Warren who did so much. Singleton, Allen, those guys will be back. I just can't wait to see the playmakers on the outside. That's the key for me. And you got Andy Koldenicki came over as their offensive coordinator from Kansas last year. Do they have explosive playmakers over there in Penn State? I know there's some guys that came through that portal that people like, but until they clip Ohio State, until they win those big games consistently, I'm going to be one of those people that's in wait-and-see mode this year when it comes to Penn State and crowning them as a team that can go on and potentially win the Natty.
Well, listen, they've got talent. We know that. Do they have the clutch gene going for them?
Right.
The coach is certainly one of those guys that has the passion. He says the right things. They've been in a lot of close games with Ohio State over the years. He's come out on the wrong end of a lot of them. And when you do that, when you keep ending up on the wrong side, you're going to get that trend of where are you in the big moments. The big moment against Notre Dame, they were being aggressive. They were trying to win that game. It turned out to be a bad move by Aller, throwing that pass over the middle under pressure in that moment. You're not trailing. I don't want to crush him too much for that. Most people want to, that's just a bad decision by a quarterback. Hopefully he'll learn by it. But I'm with you. I think the worst thing that might happen to them is if they do get tabbed as preseason number one. Like, I think they need to be, certainly top 5 would be okay, but you get tabbed number one, now you're lopping pressure, even more pressure on them. Now, it doesn't matter because whoever wins the Ohio State-Texas opener is going to vault to number one.
Yeah.
Like, it'll happen in week one.
Right.
But, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think they've earned a lot of respect. I don't think they've earned a lot of trust.
No,
I think those are two different things.
100%. And I think the hype train will be rocking and rolling for them when they get to late September, because their first 3 games of the year, home against Nevada, home against Florida International, and home against Villanova. They'll probably rip through them, kick them out of there with a nice paycheck, and then they will welcome in Oregon, and that's going to be the game. Now, Oregon's resetting at quarterback as well. A lot of people believe Dante Moore is going to be the guy, big-time recruit, started out at UCLA with Chip Kelly. Now he's out there in Eugene with Dan Lanning. He's been waiting his time. He got to see how Dylan Gabriel went about his business last year, but that should be one of the marquee games of the Big Ten schedule early on, especially in the year, is when Penn State host Oregon, and we get that feel of, are they ready for those big boy games? But also on the flip side of that, Dan Lanning and the Ducks resetting after losing some elite talent and what that looks like there. But down the line on their schedule, it's never a picnic going over to Iowa's place. They will play them October 18th, and then on November 1st, they come into the shoe against Ryan Day and the gang. But outside of that, AR, I mean, you look at that Ohio State and that Oregon game, they should have a very strong record this year unless one of these teams in Indiana consistently plays the way they played last year, Nebraska and Dylan Raiola make a leap. They should have a very, very solid regular season.
Well, it's funny you just mentioned of those 3 games, Oregon, Indiana, Nebraska, those are all in Happy Valley.
They're all at home.
Which is such an advantage.
Yeah,
it is a great place. It does offer that advantage. Here's the deal. Here's their entire season. Not laying an egg and then coming to Columbus and finally turning the corner. If they do that, I think all of a sudden they will have arrived. People say they've turned the corner last year, and the playoff had pressure, but they weren't playing the behemoths. So I would say that's the key to their season will be early in November. How are they playing? How'd they play here in Columbus?
Yeah.
And if all of a sudden they win that game, then all of a sudden they have a real leg up with people feeling they're for real.
And we're also looking at a situation where they may have the best quarterback in the conference. I think that's in play. And if he plays the way people think he can play, there's going to be conversations out there that is Drew Aller, the quarterback one in next year's draft class, because you look at some of these early 2026 mock drafts, and some people do have him as a top 10, top 5-ish type of pick. He's got the talent. He did figure some things out last year, but if he takes another leap, that is going to be the reason why they become a scary team, is having a dude at quarterback and having James Franklin finally feel like they can go into any matchup against any opponent, the likes of Oregon, Ohio State, where the talent is equal, but have the difference maker at the most important position.
I want to thank Pete Futek. We were sorry that the Gremlins got us there at the end, but always nice of Pete, collegefootballnews.com, the publisher, to jump on. We'll have him back again soon. We'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin and an Elite 5-star planning a visit. Where does Ohio State fit in? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Leslie, what's that hot lamp against your window for?
Pella windows are tested up to 160 degrees, Wilson, to ensure efficiency and the lowest energy bills possible, even in the craziest of temperatures. Put your hand on there.
All right. God, that's hot.
On the window, Wilson.
Oh, hey, that is quite nice and cool. So I'm going to go grab some ice now.
Get the window that Columbus homeowners rated #1 for innovation at PellaColumbus.com.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as the last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and get them back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is bringing the funny this summer. Tiffany Haddish takes the mic on Friday, July 18th with the Funny and Fearless Tour. Then Dion Cole Live hits the stage Friday, September 5th for a night of nonstop laughs. 2 comedy icons, 2 unforgettable nights. Get your friends, grab a drink, and get ready to laugh all night long. Big names, big laughs, only at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Visit HollywoodColumbus.com for more details. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Joining us on this episode are real Spectrum customers, Monique and Greg. We hear your family is a big fan of Spectrum.
Family of 4, we have about 18 devices last time I counted.
2 teams require a lot of speed. Everything they do is online.
There's gaming, there's streaming. Spectrum is perfect for us. I mean, it just seamlessly connects all our devices with lightning speed.
Sounds like Spectrum is really committed to keeping you connected.
It's amazing.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
In a world parched for excitement, one drink will emerge. Twisted Tea, the refreshing thrill ride of flavor. Recreating its classic role as the hard iced tea that goes down smooth. Twisted Tea doesn't just taste like real iced tea, it's made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol. Taste the adventure with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
The power of Dell AI with Intel Inside is transforming the world of pro sports. Teams can see curveballs coming with predictive analytics. Coaches can use AI insights to help players improve their shots in real time. And fans can get more out of every winning moment with AI-enhanced replays.
Unbelievable! What a play!
See how Dell Technologies with Intel Inside can power your wins at Dell.com/win.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time out here at Memorial. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes. And we'll give you a little recruiting news. And a little star-studded guy comes in potentially with a big-time history. So this kid, before I give you his name and where he's from, he is the nephew of late Lakers legend Kobe Bryant.
The Black Mamba?
Yes, the 18-time NBA All-Star. Who, by the way, we did not mention in our Life on the Line hit a
He
shot.
wouldn't have been a bad option either.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't mention him.
Bad option.
And so I know why we didn't mention it, because he wouldn't be available to us, and maybe we just went with that.
That's tough. That was a tough moment for me, AR. I'll never forget
where you were.
Where I was. I was with my parents. We did lunch. Went across the street because, I had to go get my candles at Bath & Body Works, right?
Oh, yeah.
And my pops called me and said, "Are you seeing the news, son?" And I said, "No." My phone's been in my pocket. I pull out my phone, all the alerts in the world. Just horrific. It was just got sadder and sadder as the days roll along. So, yeah, the old Black Mamba, we miss you, man. We miss you.
I was at, believe it or not, Sequoia Lanes.
Oh, look at this. Thank you, Fish.
In the bar, playing like ping pong and cornhole with Scotty Vegas and former Sticker Brad.
Shout out to Sticker Brad.
And we were all there just
stunned. Absolute stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible, man. Absolutely.
So his nephew is a 5-star safety named Jet Washington.
Love this name. Love it.
And he's got 2 more visits this summer, and he's out of Vegas, Bishop Gorman.
Okay.
So football, basketball, just
the fighting Tate Martells?
High school powerhouse.
Remember that guy?
That's right. And so he is scheduling he has Bama and Oregon that were previously scheduled official visits. He added 2 more to his schedule.
Okay.
The Ohio State.
There you go.
And Southern Cal.
There you go. Okay.
But Bama gets the first crack at him this weekend.
Yeah, Kalen DeBoer trying to make it happen.
Then he goes to Lincoln Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Then he comes to Ryan Day.
Mm-hmm.
And then back out to Dan Lanning.
Yeah, then, Uncle Phil will be lurking in the weeds, the old Phil Knight machine out there. And Eugene, look, this is when you know that you're an elite company as a recruit. When you have these programs trying to acquire your services. You look at the size of this guy. 6'4", 200 pounds as a safety. Seems like he's a rangy guy. Come downhill and hit you if he needs to as well. The defensive coaches over there at Ohio State, Coach Walton, Coach Patricia, Coach Laurinaitis, Johnson, those guys have been cooking for a while now. So it won't be a surprise to anybody if they land this guy. I got to be honest, though. With the name Jet Washington, I wanted him to be an offensive weapon. I really did. I wanted him to be like a little slot receiver, like a Curtis Samuel type of guy getting busy, but maybe, hey, you can light some people up and be fast on defense too. So, yeah, it'd be great to have this guy come in and be a part of the program. It's cool, right? You get some of these guys now that have either cousins or uncles that are professional athletes, and you think about a Jeremiah Smith right now, and his cousin is Geno Smith, and probably the help that he gets from him with not only those guys, I'm sure, working out together here or there, but also just the knowledge and having those finite details that maybe college guys don't get. And we know how good Jeremiah is, as is with his physical traits. And you think about if he has any other mental, extra points that he could throw out there as well. That's just a dangerous thing. So it's always great to have those people in your back pocket that you can lean on. And I'm sure Jet, growing up and watching his uncle and Kobe go about his business, probably learned some things as well.
Well, I think what we've learned over the last year is that you don't have to pick between money and fame, I guess, money and prestige. You can get them all now. You can get them all at Ohio State. You get them all in the power programs. That you're not most likely losing to money. Most likely, you still can.
Yeah.
And because if Ohio State was just selling the tradition and the excellence and all of that, at the beginning they were losing out. And now these guys don't have to leave money on the table. They don't. My point is, they don't have to sacrifice winning just to get the money. I think they can get it both.
It's interesting because I think you're right, AR. Was listening to I caught a clip from Bucky Brooks from the NFL Network the other day, and he was, former guy, played in the league, scout in the league as well, and he said what NIL has done for GMs and scouts is really finds out, in his word, quote, who really loves ball, right? Because now you get what you want. You got your money. How dedicated are you to the craft, and are you willing to go out there and gut it out through a playoff or a bowl game or whatever that may look like? So I think on the flip side of this whole NIL conversation it is shining a light on the guys that truly love the sport and love the grind. And last year's team for Ohio State, I think, proved that, right? You had guys that are obviously getting taken care of financially, but they were so focused on accomplishing one mission. And I think Coach Day and a lot of coaches around the country are just trying to get as many of those guys in your locker room, because the one or two guys that you bring in there that can be, the word cancer in sports, if you will, that can have things going left. And for Tennessee, they may have to find out the hard way, because that's what it came down to for them when we talked about the Nico situation. Is he was asking for more. They said no, we'll see you later. He goes out to the left coast, and now Tennessee's outlook for this year doesn't look as strong as it did, obviously, with Nico.
All right, that's your Buckeye Bulletin for today. We'll come back, SportsCenter update here, top of the hour, and it looks like Babe Ruth's great-grandkid is still leading this damn thing.
There we go.
That's a story that you heard here. I hope I'm
Only
right.
by you.
I hope
If not, we'll roll with it.
Exactly. Why not? All right, we'll come back, reset the leaderboard next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan.
The Roofing Guys are your locally owned, trusted family business right here in Central Ohio. They've been hammering quality and service through the roof for over 25 years, offering professional services in roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Contact them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
When sudden illness or injury strike, Ohio State offers 3 types of urgent care to meet any of your needs. From traditional urgent care to our specialized orthopedic urgent care for activity-related injuries and advanced urgent care for more serious injury and illness. Ohio State's experts treat everything from broken bones to ear infections and colds and flu. When your illness or injury can't wait, the choice is clear.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. A lot of dealerships not stocking much inventory right now because of reasons. But at Jermaine Lexus, they have new inventory arriving every day. Get what you want when you want it. Lease the all-new NX350 for as low as $389 per month. How about rates as low as 3.99% up to 48 months and 4.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, jermainelexus.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in Ohio. But the greatest football players and coaches of all time live up the road in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And a trip there should be on every football fan's list. Go to 971thefan.com/goldjacket and enter to win a VIP experience to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion. Relive the glory.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Summer is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you'll be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. You want to beat the heat and keep the AC in your home? Get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 windows free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, and no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. So how exactly do they keep their prices affordable? It's a great question. Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon. So buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION, or go to their website, windownation.com.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak high. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your yard with Ohio Mulch. With 15 convenient locations in Central Ohio, it's easier than ever to get your mulch ready for the season. Need it delivered? No problem. Save $50 on home delivery when you order online. Whether it's mulch, soil, or even stone, we've got your yard covered. Visit OhioMulch.com today and spruce up your garden with the best.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply, greener, greener, better.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The final group of the day, Nick Taylor and Jacob Bridgman, just teeing off out at Muirfield. So everyone has started their round 1 at the 50th Memorial Tournament. Your leader is Ben Griffin. He's 6 under par and on hole 18 right now. Colin Morikawa is 1 shot back at -5. Your leader in the clubhouse for now, Akshay Bhatia. He is at 2 under. A lot of people going to be upset, but Ohio State versus Texas to open the season is officially a big noon kick on Fox. We also know that Week 2 against Grambling will be a 3:30 kick time on the Big Ten Network. Week 3 versus OU is the Peacock game. That will be at 7. Game 5 of the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals tonight at MSG. The Knicks hosting the Pacers at 8. New York needs to win to avoid elimination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, the big story of the day is that we are off and running.
Real quick, we just come back from break. There's a gust of wind that just came through here at AR's player sheet with the tee times on it. Almost went out of here, and the guy just right hand just snagged that thing like he snagged those T-shirts at the Blue Jackets game and stole them from the kids. There's something about you bodying kids now.
It's such a bad narrative that I'm going to fight back against it. It's a bad narrative that Fitoff started, that I stole 2 T-shirts out of the T-shirt gun from kids at the Blue Jackets game.
And what'd you say?
And supposedly he claims that I said, when he said, how about those kids? And I said, these are going to look great on the dogs.
I mean, look, we do have a bump back that says you rather give milkshakes to dogs rather than humans. So this is on brand for you. Uncle Anthony does not love the kids, right?
That's
I'm
ridiculous.
All bodying kids out of the way for T-shirts and bodying kids out of the way for interviews. Whatever it takes.
The pets are kids. All right.
You gave the kids a pep talk earlier in the show, essentially saying be better. Be more athletic.
No, I just said.
Show more effort.
There's not only one. You can't just turn yourself into a 2-by a post into the ground when you're trying to hunt for autographs. You got to get in there.
Move.
You got to read and react. They're not just going to come over to a screaming kid. You've got to be, as you say, better than that. I'm all for him. I'll make it up to him somehow. Who knows?
Goodness.
Maybe I'll find a kid this week and make him the milkshake kid, and I'll get him a milkshake. And I'll go backstage and do that.
You tried to make up for it yesterday by, signing an autograph on a flag that had Steph Curry's name on it. I don't know if that hurts or helps the flag, but your heart was in the right place, my man. It really was.
Because if I would have turned him down with a legitimate reason, hey, you don't need me on there. That's not – you have a little scrap piece of paper, that's fine. And he said, no, I want you on there. And if I would have turned him down, that would have gone on my list. So I
love that we even have a list at this point.
Anyway.
Where you're just getting after kids.
Right, Scheffler is teed off.
Okay.
He parred the first couple of holes.
Who's he playing with?
He is playing with
anybody?
Sepp Straka.
Okay.
Who won recently.
That's Sepp with 2 P's, right?
That's right.
Okay.
What would his real name be?
Sepp Straka's real name.
Giuseppe or something? Like, what would Sepp Straka?
They named him after Giuseppe's?
What would... Oh, I know what it is.
I don't...
That's so stupid. Why wouldn't I have gotten that? It's not his real given name. Sepp is kind of a nickname.
Sepp Straka's real name. I don't think I've ever heard
I went with Giuseppe, but he's an Austrian, so that wouldn't make sense.
You ever own any of those Giuseppes?
What is that?
Aren't they? What am I thinking about? Giuseppe's. Why am I thinking that's some type of clothing brand?
I don't know. I thought it was some kind of pair of shoes.
That's what I'm thinking. Giuseppe's, right? I think.
No,
we're on the same page.
I've never heard of any of that.
Really? No. You've never heard of the brand Giuseppe's? You just threw that out there.
I don't.
Okay.
I know it is a name of it. Like
am I crazy?
I don't know.
Let me see something. Yeah, there's sneakers. Some Giuseppe's.
Oh,
there you go.
See, that's
okay.
in your world.
I thought that's what you were thinking of.
No,
that's wild. You just said that.
I just
randomly. Okay,
so with a name,
Sepp Straka's real name. Does it start with an S? The real
no.
Name. Okay,
it
does not start with an S.
I don't think you're going to get this.
I don't think I
didn't
stand
get
no
the Jimmy
chance.
Butler.
Yeah, I'm going to stand. What is his real name?
Joseph. So Sepp, I don't know why. I don't know how they got to that.
I see it.
But it doesn't really it doesn't really fit.
No,
but
not really. I don't see
anyway,
it
we spent way too much time on that.
Yeah.
All right, so your leaderboard, you heard Bake kind of give you the highlights of it. So Ben Griffin is 7 under par. He just finished with a 65.
Wow.
So
we don't need to interview him. If they offer us Ben Griffin, we're not hitting him with the Rothman and Ice curse. We got to turn it down.
No, I need to confirm the story that I found out that he is the great grandkid of I'm sorry, his dad. I said this wrong already. His dad played for the Yankees with Babe Ruth.
Okay.
Not that he
in the 1920s.
Yeah, I think I said that wrong earlier. I've had too many beverages.
Just make it up. Who cares?
Wait, his dad played with Babe Ruth?
His great-grandfather played with Babe Ruth, and he's leading the tournament. And his dad, his great-grand, I don't keep saying dad, his great-grandfather took a liner from the Bambino to the chest.
Okay, you know where I'm at with this stuff.
That gave him an infection in his lung and tuberculosis, and Doc Hollidayed him.
I don't buy anything that happened in that era of sports.
Okay.
This has been my stance. I buy none of it.
Film, Matty.
I buy none of this stuff at all that Babe Ruth was as great as he was in the 20s, nor do I care because of how easy life was back then, and you're playing against guys that were going home.
I don't know if it was that easy. They weren't getting paid what these guys are getting paid.
Well, they weren't full-time baseball players, that's what I know. But that story, I would like to talk. He probably doesn't even know that himself.
Matty, that time when you were playing stickball in that field behind Old Man Wiggleby's sweet shop, that's when this stuff happened. That's
oh my goodness.
when it happened. Anyway, that's your tidbit. Like if you're coming out here and you want to be a big hit with your friends,
Ben Griffin's dad played with
No, his great-grandfather, not his dad. Just say, hey, I heard the guy leading this tournament that his great-grandfather played for the Yankees and the Red Sox with Babe Ruth in the 20s and the 30s. And then Babe Ruth single-handedly killed his great-grandfather by lining a baseball into his chest.
The story's getting crazier and crazier every sentence we roll along here.
All right.
What's the rest of what we got? Colin Morikawa still in there. He's hanging in. He's through 15 right now. He's 4 under par. He's tied. Shane Lowry, he is 3 under, and he's done for the day.
Don't skip your boy.
Oh,
Victor Hovland.
I see him. Vic.
2 under.
Slick Vic right now tied for 4th through 16 at 2 under. Okay. Pretty strong leaderboard.
Ricky Fowler shooting even is very good. Jordan Spieth getting it back to even is good for the tournament.
Yeah, there we go.
And you remember, it's a signature event, so the cut's not that big. It's 72 guys playing for the top 50 spots, ties included, 10-shot rule to the leader, so you'd get in if you were within 10 shots. So that's that deal. My boy Ludwig Oberg.
What's going on?
Not good. +3. I should have known that you have to be around this place a little bit to really. Although his rookie year, he was tied for 5th, and I bought it.
Didn't know any better, Didn't know any better.
Couple of doubles today. What's going on with that?
Well,
hit it in the water at 6.
You picked him. That's what's going on with that.
I just ride your picks, man. They're ride them to greatness.
Oh, right there. I think we got Ricky Fowler passing us on the card right here.
Where?
They are right here past these bushes. This is bad radio, but I believe that is Ricky Fowler right there on the back of that card. He'll be on the right there. You got the Puma hat. You see the P there? That's slick, Rick.
I didn't see.
Right there.
He's not wearing the. Did he shave the stash during
stash,
COVID?
Man. No
he
stash
had kind of a Dick Fowler PI look going back
really
in
did.
COVID.
Yeah, he really did. AR, if I could put you on the bag for any golfer for tomorrow's round, and they come and
I'd never make
they
it.
need you and say, AR,
I'd never make
well,
it.
actually, they don't need you. I'm having you
in the rain.
In the rain, a little chilly tomorrow. Who would you want to be on the bag for 18?
It would have to be somebody that's not like threatening to win it.
You don't want that pressure on you?
Because I don't need that. So give me some guy that just, you know what?
Your boy.
Actually,
Oberg.
that's what I was going to say.
Go down with the ship.
Yeah, put me on Oberg's back. We might as well just take it all the way south, right? We may as well miss the whole deal. I think I'd go with Max Grazerman. He's +6. He shot a 78. Kid went to Duke.
Okay.
Was there during Coach K's, one of his titles in 2015 or whatever.
Strong last name.
And I think that we'd go with Max Grazerman because he's pretty much out of it with a 78. He's made almost $6 million anyway on tour, so he's not going to crush me for that. And so
I love that your decision is rooted in the easiest path and no pressure at all, and not wanting any heat on you.
Well, we talk a little hoop, talk a little Coach K, and I think we
Cooper Flag, John Shire.
And here's the one thing I mentioned. I'll mention Grazerman, and this will make it really work. He's publicly he has said his aspiration is to one day own a lot of dogs, and not just one like a lot. And if I can talk to him over 4 hours and get him to adopt, go to a shelter or rescue, and maybe just inspire him, and maybe he's already there.
Yeah.
But when I heard that, that's the guy.
Now you're a absolute lover of dogs. What would
all
be
animals really matter?
Well, that's true. That is true. But we do hockey and hounds.
That's right.
During hockey season every Wednesday right here on Rothman and Ice. What would be your max out on dogs in your home? You love them, but there has to be a number.
It depends whether you've got a little land and a little backyard action.
Where you currently live.
I think the max would
out?
be 4 in a condo.
I thought it'd be higher than that. Okay.
And I would go probably 6 in a regular home.
6 in a regular home. That's
kind of Brady Bunch that thing.
It's
just
a lot
6.
of work.
And then it is, but at that point, I'd hope to kind of be on Easy Street and just hang out with them.
Kicking it, playing golf, taking care of
But that's it. Who would you want to be? Captain Vic? You want to take that pressure?
I would want to be on the bag for who would I want to be on?
Let me ask you this: would you rather be in the bag or on the bag?
I don't want to be in the bag.
Okay, all right.
I like to be in my bag because that means you're cooking. Usually that's what the kids say. I think
old school in the bag. I think meant kind of like sauce.
a little sauce. Okay. I'd like to kick it with Tony Finau. He seems like a cool dude. Put me on the bag with Tony.
So I think Tony Finau. So years ago when we're out here, I wrangled him in with me and Carp, and I think you were producing. I think he was some sort of a guy who was like juggled swords and things and
Wait, what?
samurai.
Really?
Yeah. I think
that sounds absolutely dangerous. Juggling samurai swords. That's his hobby.
Did I just make up something?
You've been making up stories today. Just keep going.
Does
Why not?
it matter?
Tony Finau.
I mean, who would
juggler of swords?
Who would make that up? Fire knife dancer. Nailed it.
Fire knife dancer or juggler?
I guess juggling as he's dancing.
Okay, there has to be video evidence of this somewhere.
You don't believe it, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying the stuff that happened in the 20s. Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points.
But you don't believe that. But you believe this guy was a fire knife dancer?
I said I want video evidence.
Let me tell you something. The fact that I just pulled a large piece of furniture out of my backside with that story and just confirmed it. Says here, Tony Finau, a hard-hitting PGA Tour rookie, is a curiosity given his roots, including his prowess at fire knife dancing. And his quote is, when people asked him about how that's kind of risky, like you said, his answer is, just a stick with knives at the end.
Come on.
Yes.
And nobody's seen video of this?
How do you practice?
That's what I'm fire knife dancing. Like, how do you run that by your parents? Hey, what are you doing with
it's
your
a
friends?
warrior dance back in the islands of Samoa. If you catch it on the wrong part, obviously of the knife, you could cut your hand, or your hand might be caught on fire.
Yeah. Not my,
I'll tell you what.
Not
the
my
pressure out here, that's nothing
compared to that.
This prepared him for everything.
God, I would love to talk to him about this, because that's a little ridiculous. As our guy Beanie.
All right, so I'm on the bag of Mad Max Grazerman, whose goal in life is to own a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
And you'll be on the bag of Tony Finau, former fire knife dancer.
Oh man, I love it. I love
My
it.
goodness. By the way, wait till you get a look at Tim Hall's fake Rolex that he's wearing in here.
My
or something.
goodness, it's Timmy flexing on him today.
It's kind of unbelievable.
Jeez. The face of the watch is as big as his face. Literally. There it is. Look at that. There he is coming around the mountain when he comes.
Golden crusted watch out here at Memorial.
Timmy,
that's what you want. Long sleeve jersey.
We're talking about the watch, Timmy.
Yeah, we're talking about the watch.
Shine that on YouTube real quick, Tim Hall.
That thing
right here
is
in the
quite,
corner.
I mean, I know Nicholas has a gold Rollie from back in the day.
Yeah, put that on the YouTube. Look at that. Oh, it's a 40th birthday gift.
So maybe it's real.
Oh, okay. Okay, so there you go. Iced out Timmy. Oh, you're going to be doing the Shador Sanders?
You have a matching flask that you brought in with you,
Shador?
Timmy? Does that come with a matching flask?
Oh, my goodness.
All right, we're going to come back. The off-season gamble may be already backfiring for a certain NFL team. We'll give you that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Big voice guy here to remind you that you're listening to The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Okay, thanks. I have 3 more seconds. Bye-bye.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Need a new heating or cooling system? Booking a free in-home estimate with Logan Services is easier than ever. In just minutes, you can schedule your appointment on our website. It's fast, simple, and hassle-free. Book a time that works best for you. We offer appointments throughout the week and on weekends. And next-day installation is available now. When you need help, we're here for you. For the home of fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Sunshine for the afternoon. High temperatures back into the mid-70s. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies with temperatures cooling down into the upper 50s. The clouds are ahead of our next chance of rain here as we go through the day on Friday. The rainfall could be heavy at times, especially as we look ahead to the morning hours of your Friday. High temperatures only into the 60s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Ice, little Bet365 time.
Yes, sir, brother, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. We got a big game in the Garden tonight, AR. Big one. Next season is on the line. I am looking at the leader of their team. I'm looking at Jalen Brunson, and I like the juice over here for 3 3-pointers made for the former Villanova baller. Give me plus 105. That's the juice. Jalen Brunson, I think he's going to empty the clip in a do-or-die game. 3 3-balls, Jalen Brunson. The juice on that, again, is plus 105.
All right, let's find a live guy to bet on right now at Memorial.
Okay.
I said during the break I'd just go ahead and grab Colin Morikawa right now at 4.5 to 1. Just right now. Just get him. Don't look back. But there has to be somebody else that at much longer odds that would be more fun to take. And
what about Jordan Spieth? Did I do anything for you?
Okay, maybe. But I think I'm going with Sepp Straka since we talked about him so much.
Yeah.
Sepp Straka right now is 35 to 1.
Okay.
So we talked about it enough. I thought Sepp would make more sense if his real name was Giuseppe, but being Austrian, that wouldn't work. So I'm going to go with a live bet there. Colin Morikawa at 4.5 to 1, and Sepp Straka 35 to 1.
Over at Bet365, they've got a great new sign-up offer where you bet $5, you will get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. So take advantage of that. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
start.
First
We'll
off sides. We're live. I'm not in the studio.
First and 15. Just throw it up to me. I'll make a play for you.
All right, do this. Walk me through this story.
Oh, goodness.
So this is the last thing Mike Vrabel wanted to be answering about right now. It's not a good sign when one player is the subject of about a half a dozen questions to the head coach. You're not just one and done.
Yeah.
So I guess Vrabel was absolutely peppered. Do we have the actual audio on this TLC?
Yeah.
Okay, we do. So let me just set it up.
Yeah, set the scene.
All right, so
it is definitely a scene.
Yeah, so before they started their OTA, which was the second media session open to the media, it was about his wide receiver, Stefon Diggs. And Diggs had gone viral in the hours kind of leading up to Vrabel stepping into this presser.
Yeah.
There's a video that came out of Diggs partying on a yacht and I guess handing what appeared to be a pink substance in a baggie to a woman on the boat. And whose boat is it, Matty?
I have no idea.
I thought it was Cardi B's.
Is it Cardi's? Oh, they are dating. Okay, they did show up together at a Knicks playoff game, I believe either this round or the playoff round prior to the Eastern Conference Finals. I did not know that was the case, but that would not surprise me at all if he's on his ladies' boat, because Cardi is she's special on that mic. She does some good spitting on the bars, man.
All right, before we hear from Vrabel, I'll tell you this. I don't care what he had in a bag. There's no way anybody's going to be able to prove what he had. You could say he had Pepto-Bismol for all I know. Like he's on a boat, I'm seasick. Like he could say anything. Like I don't know how they're going to investigate that. But they did give him 3 years and $64 million back in March.
Yeah.
So they've needed a top-line receiver. They need one for their young quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
They got Diggs. And now Vrabel, here he is having to answer questions about a guy who, by the way, was at the OTA session on May 22nd, but that was closed to the media. Here he is answering this stuff.
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field. And we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stefon will remain between him and I and the club.
Yeah, Vrabes is he's got that kind of no-nonsense vibe to him. He doesn't mess around. We know what Vrabes is made of, hard-nosed defender himself. So can't imagine he loves this. To your point, I don't know what he flashed at those females on the boat. I'm not going to speculate. I know there's people running with it, and maybe people know more than I do about that stuff. It let's be honest, it's not the best look, but that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to assume anything else. And for Diggs, I don't care that he's not there for voluntary OTAs. He's a vet. As long as he's there for mandatory minicamp, that's the most important part. But yeah, this isn't awesome for Diggs. He's had this tough look, and then you go back to last year, he had the injury. He's looking to remind some people how good he can be, and that's going to be a question mark. But yeah, no doubt, I think you brought up the most important piece of this, AR. It's Drake May. That's the most important part of the franchise moving forward, and I think Diggs can be a piece of getting him going and getting the New England Patriots back into the winning circle.
All right, so it's stupid on a couple levels. It's stupid that he would get on a boat with people with cell phones and that they would do him wrong by recording stuff. The second level of it is that not only would they record it, that they would send it out.
I don't know if it was some of these things I think are live, so maybe it was an Instagram.
Even worse.
Maybe it was an Instagram live or something like that. I don't know.
And I'm not going to absolve him of stupidity either. He doesn't even look like he's aware of what's going on.
He's living his best life, to say the least.
And then he breaks out this metal tin and just snaps it open with a Ziploc baggie full of pink pills.
Was those Altoids? Is that those mints from back in the day? Or Altoids?
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
Again, he could get away with that maybe if they made pink Altoids.
Maybe it's some of that blue sky from Walter White. I don't know. Maybe Walter White's cooking up some new stuff.
Here's the thing: if I'm his agent, I say you're getting a little seasick. The girls looked a little peaked. You're saying, hey, if you're feeling sea legs aren't quite there,
a concoction.
I got you. I got the magical pink drink here, Pepto-Bismol, and we'll take care of it.
See, the problem is, AR, that it wasn't a liquid. It looked like it was some
those
type
come in
of,
tablets, too.
Okay, well, there's an out then. So maybe there's a little bit of loophole in that. To your point, I don't know how, the league office can identify exactly what it was. They have a lot of smart people that work for them and can pay a lot of smart people to figure it out. So maybe that will be the case. And for Diggs' sake, hopefully this won't come down and be a suspension or anything like that, because the Pats need him. And look, there's some wiggle room within that division behind the Buffalo Bills to see who wants to be, next in line and maybe be a thorn in the Bills' side for the next few years. And maybe that will be Drake May and the Pats.
Listen, I think it's what Vrabel was kind of hinting at. We brought you in here to be an example and to be the leader of the receiver room. And when you get that kind of stuff, then all of a sudden you got a coach in a bad spot who's counting on a veteran who's working his way back. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to tell these guys what they can do on their own time. He didn't have to be there. It wasn't mandatory, so he wasn't skipping anything. It's just you'd think that a vet in a social situation would just be a little smarter than breaking out some kind of unknown pillbox.
I think sometimes, your awareness can go down when you're having a good time.
And that's what I'm thinking. He wasn't even aware. That's what I would put on him.
Yeah.
Stay aware. All right, we're going to come back 2 minutes. Maddie, yesterday I said that the Aaron Rodgers hate parade had a new grand marshal.
Yeah.
Well, there's somebody now auditioning to be the co-grand marshal.
Oh, no.
And it was a bizarre rant from an analyst on the situation. You'll hear it in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Dr. Marta Lavelle of Urbana and Darby Dental smiles on having First Bank of Central Ohio as a partner.
It has been great working with First Bank of Central Ohio. They helped me achieve a huge goal, becoming a business owner. The bank made it so easy. They helped me through the whole process. It's been great ever since.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
97.1 The Fan. Memorial Leaderboard Update.
And it's brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. Opening round at Muirfield Village, Ben Griffin finishes with 3 straight birdies to shoot 65 and grab the lead at 7 under par. Griffin, who won a week ago, knows things are rolling.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast things can change in this game. I mean, it's just a bunch of stepping stones that kind of get you to the next part of your career, and now I'm at the point where I feel like starting to show that I am an elite golfer. I can compete against the best.
Colin Morikawa, 2 back at -5. Shane Lowry and Tommy Fleetwood are at -3. Only 14 players currently under par. We'll have another report for you next hour, live outside of Muirfield Village. I'm Skip Mossick on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony wore his cleats today. Just in case. You're listening to Rothman and Ice live from the Memorial.
Presented by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. And sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
No golf shoes, not needed today. Potentially tomorrow. It gets a little slick out here on these hills. Mudslide action. We'll see. So this story is weird because I'll ask you one quick question.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Rodgers currently playing football?
No, he is not.
Is Aaron Rodgers currently employed by an NFL team?
No, he is not.
Are we in any kind of mandatory situation for Aaron Rodgers of any kind?
No, we are not.
Okay. So on FS1, Joy Taylor was hosting a show with Paul Pierce and Keyshawn Johnson. And she jumped in on the Aaron Rodgers. I don't even know how to set this up. It was kind of a bizarre judgment. It wasn't about whether the Steelers should sign him or whether he should want to be with the Steelers or whether the NFL should just not touch him. He's past his prime. It had none of that. It had no football context other than that she somehow believes that someone who isn't currently employed by an NFL team should somehow be there. It'd be like me not being hired by this radio station and me demanding, or someone demanding that I should be on the air, but I don't even work for us. That's what she said. I want you to react to this. Here's Joy Taylor on FS1.
Why? Why? This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have 6 Lombardies. They're coached by first ballot Hall of Fame Mike Tomlin.
They don't have a
never
quarterback.
had a losing
They don't have a
season.
quarterback.
And we're sitting around talking about Aaron Rodgers is not there on the first day of OTAs. Mandatory or not, where's your pride? Where's your dignity?
That's why I say I'm going to give him another day.
Where's your respect for the game? Where's your respect for this organization? Where's this organization's respect for the history that they have in this league? What are we talking about? He's never played there before. He doesn't know any of these teammates. He doesn't know the streets to get to the facility. He doesn't know the doctors. He doesn't know the rehab crew. He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know where to get his smoothies. Nothing. It's like, why would you not be there? Why am I supposed to take this seriously? It's not about him not being at non-mandatory OTAs for a team that he's been with for 22 years. Do what you want to do. You won 5 games last year. The year before that, you didn't play because you tore your Achilles. The year before that, you missed the playoffs. What are we talking about?
Because they're not his teammates yet.
I want to say, Joy, what are you talking about? Because I don't know what the heck that was. And take a breath. Slow down a little bit. She was cooking right there. I don't know what is going on.
She wants him to move to Pittsburgh,
get on the streets,
print out some map quests,
find a Smoothie King,
find his favorite restaurants, and be with his teammates and hang out, knowing full well. Maybe I should give her one way out of this. That maybe she's fast forward in her mind that he's definitely going to be a Steeler and that he should just stop with this big tease and get there. And I think that's where she was going. I think that's what she probably meant was, and my view on this, and this is where you could probably crush him a little bit, that if he is going to be a Steeler, and it sounds like he will, what she is basically saying is quit screwing around and be serious about it. But you know what? He's a veteran. He doesn't want to be at OTAs. He may be at mandatory minicamp. We're not sure.
Yeah.
I think that's where she was trying to go. But when you start throwing out these are your teammates, not yet they're not.
We've been getting some very spicy takes from national talking heads about one man. Michael Wilbon, don't even let him in the facility. What are we even talking about? He's really not even a good quarterback anymore. Terry Bradshaw called it a joke and told him to stay out on the left coast. And then now we got Joy Taylor.
Eat his cramp bar.
Eat it, whatever it was. And now we got Joy Taylor doing this rant. I think this will all get itself figured out. I think he has a plan. I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers have a plan. They've got a wink-wink deal going on. I think he will be there for mandatory minicamp. He already had the throwing session with DK Metcalf a few weeks ago. I think that was a big, big breadcrumb to follow because that's going to be a key to their success. One of the biggest keys to their success is he and DK having that connection. With the way the Steelers paid him, they obviously view him as their number one wide receiver of the future. And so him coming in there, he will get that thing in order. And I think he will provide a decent floor for them at quarterback. But I can understand why people get frustrated with this guy. because he does like to be in the spotlight. He does like to grab a lot of these headlines, and he does seem to be, in the minds of some others, an unlikable guy based off of how he goes about his business or how he's treated people in the past. So, look, that's their opinion on it. I'm kind of sick of talking about this dude, honestly. I really am. Because think about this. We talked for, 3 out of the last 4 off seasons about Aaron Rodgers. The end in Green Bay, him dragging his feet in New York and all the drama there. And now here we are again with this stuff again. So I kind of understand where people are coming from, and especially that angle of it that Michael Wilbon was digging on. If the dude was still great, then you know what? I don't think we mind talking about guys when they're actually playing well. But when you're a middle-of-the-road quarterback and you're doing some of these things, it can get frustrating for people.
Okay, so I'm with you on a lot of that. I think maybe her mind was in the right place, but she jumped the gun. If you want to talk about him, not being at OTAs and he's already signed, have at it. I'm all right with that, because then you're challenging his lack of dedication, right? And I get that, especially with a guy who's a veteran dude who's got one big last lap around the track. Then go ahead and crush him for that. I think the timing of this rant was off, and I do think her mind is where you said. A lot of people are just sick about talking about a guy who has dragged out his decision, dropped these hints about, they're playing on a road trip in Chicago.
Right.
And how serious could he be about it if, he's got family and this is that, other problems to deal with. I think she is, at the end of the day, I think she was just jumped it a little bit, but I know what she really meant. What she meant to say was, if this guy, this is what the disclaimer she could have put on it. Right at the beginning, you know what she should have said? If this guy becomes a Pittsburgh Steeler, then this is a joke. Because he probably knows whether he's going to be or not. And if he does eventually become a Steeler, then he should be doing what she's saying should be doing.
I disagree because it's voluntary. It's voluntary, and I think if he was a member of the Steelers, I don't think he would be
But she's
around
challenging
for this.
his dedication.
That's fine. I still think he's staying in shape and doing all those things to be ready to go
it's the chemistry,
for football
I think
season.
She was thinking.
What she's really upset about is he doesn't know where to get a good smoothie. That's really what's irking her, AR.
If you take for a regular person, if you took a job at a new city, like if you weren't from Columbus and you moved here and took a job, you probably would like to show up a few days early to get your bearings, what's the best way to get to work and all that. For a guy like that, it's just...
Who's to say he hasn't done those things and we don't know
and
about
what
it?
year is this? He can get to the facility.
That's what I'm saying. She lost me with the doctor, the smoothie, the rose. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? I don't know.
I think she wanted him to just set up camp, learn the city, get in about a month early,
That's not realistic.
If you're not early, you're late.
I think for a guy that's 40 that's played as much football as he has, I don't know if that's realistic. I really don't.
I know where she was going. The timing's bizarre. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
If she did this right, if she did this after minicamp or right during minicamp and he hadn't made his decision yet, and then he eventually becomes a Steeler later in the summer, then you could accuse him all you want of skipping
important
stuff where you got one last shot at this. Give it your best shot. That's, I think, where she was going. All right, we're going to come back and wrap it up. We'll give you a final leaderboard update, too. Tell the Truth is next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hi, I'm Mandy. I'm one of the at-home coaches with the Wake Up 180 weight loss. Honestly, I think the thing I hear the most is I didn't realize how easy it was. That first weekly they come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I already noticed that I'm not as bloated in my face or in my abdomen, or I've been sleeping better. I've been waking up with so much more energy. I don't need my coffee throughout the day. They're coming in a month or two later and they're like, hey, like my daughter said I need to lower my meds. I'm losing a ton of inches on my waist. I'm buying new pant sizes. And we're looking at scale. And we're like, yeah, your visceral fat's down again. That's fantastic. And we're celebrating all of these wins. And then we talk about, okay, next step. Let's talk about how to maintain it. This isn't over. This is just the next stage. That's what your health coach is there for.
Thanks, Mandy. This is Scotty Vegas. Easy weight loss with results that actually last. With Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you will succeed and you'll enjoy the process. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
So we bought an actual shopping mall and put one of the largest Honda dealerships in the world inside of it. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay with Lindsay Honda. So it's big. We house about 150 to 200 cars indoors, lit, all unlocked, ready for you to be able to view and see. A fully tempered climate. Doesn't matter if it's raining outside, 10 below zero, super hot. There's real trees inside, and it's just a casual environment. And if you haven't seen it, it's really a cool story, not about its opulence. It's just a cool story to see what was a dilapidated old mall being reinvigorated into a pillar in the community that everybody benefits from.
This month at Lindsay Honda, choose a 2025 Honda Ridgeline RTL, Honda HR-V or CR-V, and pay just $299 a month at our famous Lindsay Honda Trade-A-Thon. We'll trade for anything and give you $1,000 more for your vehicle all month long. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Summer is officially here, and that means rising temperatures. You're going to be thinking about how you can keep cool all summer long. What's the best plan here? Well, one of the ways you can beat the heat and keep the air conditioning you're paying for in your home is to get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. And now's a great time to do it. They've got a semi-annual sale where you buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows for free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a whole house full of windows. No money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027. It's a deal that can't be beat. You're getting a great deal from Window Nation because they are high-efficiency windows that are also very affordable. They do that by working directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. But don't wait on that semi-annual sale. You buy 4 windows, you get 4 windows free. Free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. You've got to schedule your estimate today. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION or windownation.com.
Guess what? Our ugly faces are on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan and watch all your favorite shows. Laptop, phone, tablet, smart TV, we're everywhere. Bring us in the bedroom with you. Yes, The Fan.
There's a huge focus in America today about your health, and you're determined to look beyond the pills. You don't want to have surgery, because I know I didn't. So you want to talk to the person that's in pain right now? Well, that was me. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone you love. And maybe you've done everything you can. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter for my friends at QC Kinetics. They're different. They're not about those quick fixes. This isn't going to be some shot that's going to make you feel better. It's not a surgery that's going to put you on the shelf. They're about long-term relief. This is regenerative medicine we're talking about right here. Your own body's healing properties to heal the damaged tissue at the cellular level. QC Kinetics, they've helped tens of thousands of people, so many of them right here in the Columbus area and across the country. They'd be honored to help you just like they helped me with my knee, just like they helped my dad. Here's what they're going to do. They're not going to mask the pain. They're going to go to the source of it. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus to see if you're a good candidate, or give them a call at 380-28-4544. They've got offices in Dublin and in Gahanna and newly in Canal Winchester and Grove City.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution Specialists.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Now buy 4 windows, get 4 free, plus a free entry door with a house of windows. Visit windownation.com.
All right, we'll get into Tell the Truth in a moment here. Timmy and Beamer coming up top of the hour, so don't go anywhere. By the way, Beamer caddied for me here in a media day, and I think we made like 4 or 5 up and downs, a couple sand saves. And you'll have to ask him. I may tweet out, I still have the video. He was videoing me at 12.
Yeah.
You can't see where the ball landed, but trust me, it's about 6 feet under the cup, and I made the putt. And all your Beamer says, great shot. Mm-hmm. And then I just fist when that was it. I'll tweet that out.
Beamer
I don't know if Beamer remembers that.
I don't know how Beamer's doing a polo and hoodie right now. I don't know how he's doing that.
It's like, it's like the wrestlers do. They try to, sweat a lot, put them in the hot box.
Get it going? Okay, I got it.
I think Beamer likes to be in the hot box.
Timmy may have shirt of the day, too, when you see that on YouTube, folks.
All right, here's the deal.
Yep.
And you're not going to like what I'm about to say. I have an inside source that just told me that Victor Hovland not only missed left on 18, but went OB.
No, he did
which
not.
means stroke and distance. He's re-teamed.
Oh,
now
no.
I don't know if it's a provisional, whether they. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's hitting a provisional. Maybe they don't know where it went, and they'll find it.
Okay,
man.
good.
You know,
get your best
about
people on
3
it out
minutes. That's it. Remember when Ecro told us live on the air? He's like, I looked for 2.5 minutes for a ball that I knew where it was, and I couldn't find it. Yeah,
get your best people on it out there. Help my guy out, okay?
Well,
that's awful. What is 18 doing to people today?
Okay, I have it confirmed.
What happened?
Double bubble at 18.
Are you kidding me?
That is, he pulled an Ecro.
So he's back to what, even? Where's he at now?
He's probably 2 over.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my. Hey, Maddie, come on in. The water's fine.
Rothman, a nice curse. Still alive.
All Victor Hovland wanted to do was go home. Well, he went home all right with a crater in his colon the size of a cutlet. That guy just double bogeyed at 18.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
we're in the same.
Pick Scotty Scheffler like the rest of us.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no. What's he doing, by the way? Can you give me an update?
I saw that he broke par and went to -1 not too long ago, but I don't know what he's done since then.
Go. That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
Hand him the trophy again.
Oh,
First back-to-back winner since Tiger. Oberg is +3. He's going to have a great day tomorrow in the rain. Those Swedes love the rain. Born to slop. Love to slop. Love it.
All right, TLC, what do you
His mother was Maddie. His mother was a mutter. Father was a mutter.
Born to slop.
Born to slop. I like Oberg tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness. TLC, what you got today, big dog?
Alrighty, so I feel like this is appropriate because last night we just saw the Oklahoma City Thunder clinch their berth into the NBA Finals, and this was from a couple days ago. Charles Barkley wanted to make a deal with ESPN, and he's hoping that some of their commentary doesn't get a little bit too crazy about Anthony Edwards, given what we've seen in this series.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win the championship, and anybody want to bet me any amount of money, come to my damn house because I can afford it. OKC is the best team in the NBA. I've been telling y'all that for 2 months. Hey, ESPN, I love you guys. Don't try to make Anthony Edwards the face of the NBA. The face of the NBA is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Joker, and Giannis. You can't give it to people. They have to take it. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is taking it.
So tell the truth, is there a noticeable gap at this point between Anthony Edwards and those three that he mentioned?
Not as a talent. From a team standpoint, there is. Yeah. I mean, Ant-Man's baby Jordan. He's
it kind of looks like him in the face.
I don't love this that everything's happy and I'm not struggling. Like, I'd like him to be a little more.
As a Jordan guy, did you really just say that? You're comfortable with saying that? That's your boy. That's your
just saying the way he reminds me of how he plays.
Okay.
No, he's not going to be him. Okay. The other thing about Charles, can I call this out?
Please.
Yeah. Vegas has OKC at -650 to win the title. So don't act like you're going out on a limb and saying that the overwhelming favorite is going to win.
It was only a 3-1 series when he said that.
No, he did say he's been saying it for 2 months. I don't know how long, if that's actually true, but I love Charles. But
he invited us over his house. We can bet him. Just pull up, he said. Come on up to the front door.
That's
man.
true.
He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. I hear what he's saying. Look, Anthony Edwards is 23, 24 years old. He's already been to a couple of deep playoff runs in his career. The dude's absolutely a superstar. He's got to take it on the chin. A lot of guys do. And this was his time to do that. He will have, I believe, his finals appearances, whether it's in Minnesota or elsewhere down the line. He's that special. And so, yeah, SGA, he deserves that type of respect. He deserves those flowers right now as the MVP. I don't think he's the face of the league, though. I really don't. I think the faces of the league are still Steph, LeBron, Giannis, and Joker. But in time, it will be his league.
You don't think that maybe even prior to him going to L.A. that Luka was in that conversation?
I think you could absolutely make a case for that. I think the guy that probably will be is Victor Wembanyama here soon, though. I think he absolutely will be the face of the league because he's going to have that worldwide, that international love, being from France and being how great, that he is already. So hopefully the injury stuff that popped, I think it was actually blood clots for him this year, I think.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head. So hopefully that will not pop up again. But I think he absolutely has a strong case. But I think the league is in good hands, right? We're talking about a Canadian guy, a French guy in Victor, a Canadian guy in SGA, and an American guy and Ant Edwards, and some other guys on the way like a Cooper Flagg. So there's some young guys on the ascent. The old guys will fade away, but there's still star power to be had.
Yeah, prestige worldwide for sure.
No doubt.
Does this look like a circus to you, man?
And the Caster Connection fan poll for the day is, have you ever had one of the milkshakes at Muirfield Village Golf Club? I have a feeling that I know both of your answers, and I don't think they're going to be the same answer.
No, because I tried to get in there earlier. I told you AR shut the door in my face. He said, your media credentials don't work in here, playa. Wait outside. As you're looking at your media credential. Hold on, because AR's media credential has 3 numbers on it. Mine has 1.
Don't forget that email, Maddie. We got that email.
All right.
He was not the same.
Somebody did me wrong on that. And number 2, here's the deal. I realize that my boy, I aspire to be like him. I don't think I ever will be. He does. I'm going to trust him because I love him and I believe him. But in my heart, I don't believe that Maddie eats bread of any kind, carbs, sugar, or anything fried. Now, the last time I checked, those milkshakes will have sugar. I will be happy to bring him one if I could watch him actually drink it. If you guys want to make that bet on the air, I'll do it. I'll get him any flavor he wants. Yes, I've had them. Try to limit them this week. They're pretty hefty, but he knows that if he wants one, all he has to do is say the word. I
appreciate
it. And I'll get him one. So, TLC, you tell the truth. If I get him one, will he drink the whole thing?
I think he would only do it on the air. I don't think he would do it off the air.
You mean all of it or just a sip?
Sip is the favorite on the board. Sip is the favorite.
Is going off at minus 650 like OKC.
Hey, before we go, if you ever miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Bet365 is our podcast sponsor. Coming up, Timmy Hall, Brandon Beam, 3 to 6, live at Memorial.
You know what they did? They even unzipped the tarp for the air conditioning for the Stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Been asking for that for 3 hours. It's happening for the big boys. We'll talk to you tomorrow at high noon. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's been a great run. Care Heating and Cooling has achieved goals I could only imagine 30 years ago. But now it's time for the next generation to take over. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, as Care grew over the years, you had many opportunities to sell Care to one of the big conglomerates that are buying companies all over Central Ohio. So tell our customers why you decided to keep Care in the family.
After talking about Care's values for over 30 years, I couldn't bear the thought of Care becoming the kind of company I was warning our customers about. I know the two of you will continue to treat our customers as I would, with honesty and integrity.
We will, Dad. In 2024, Care was awarded a BBB Torch Award for Ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
Bands are us when dreams don't get in. Bands are us.
us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Baths are us. When dreams sunk in, Baths are us.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. A lot of dealerships not stocking much inventory right now because of reasons. But at Jermaine Lexus, they have new inventory arriving every day. Get what you want when you want it. Lease the all-new NX350 for as low as $389 per month. How about rates as low as 3.99% up to 48 months and 4.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models? Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton. Check them out online, jermainelexus.com.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Summer is officially here, and so are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you'll be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during the dog days of summer. You want to beat the heat and keep the AC in your home? Get Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. During their semi-annual sale, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 windows free. Plus a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, and no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments until 2027. So how exactly do they keep their prices affordable? It's a great question. Window Nation works directly with the top window manufacturers in the country, which means all their windows are assembled right here in the USA. Plus, their windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you'll keep saving long into the future. Window Nation's semi-annual sale ends soon. So buy 4 windows, get 4 windows free, and a free entry door when you purchase a house full of windows, plus pay nothing until 2027. Schedule your estimate right now, 866-90-NATION, or visit windownation.com. Once again, that number, 866-90-NATION, or go to their website, windownation.com.